Oh, hey everyone. It must be an every other Tuesday in Delaware County, but it's not. It's a special of every other Tuesday in Delaware County because tonight's the Delco-A-Thon. Is that what we settled on the name?
I don't know if we settled, but I made it back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's what we're going with. And no,
Go with it. I'm going to run with it. Yeah.
Not a triathlon, not anything there. You do not have to compete in a bunch of different activities that are Delco. All you got to do is tune in, learn about Headstrong, learn about Delco Day, and you can donate right here. Al, there's all sorts of clips coming up about where they can send money to.
We're going to be hearing from people who stayed at the.
We know about the people, but there's ways people can jump in.
I am going. Yes, there's people going to jump in. I'm going to put the links in the chat in just a few moments, so people can either buy their Delco Day tickets now.
Oh my goodness!
Or they can just, if you're not going to be able to make it, or you want to donate even more, you can do it right now. You can donate through PayPal, Venmo, or just a credit card.
Feeling froggy with the first of the month next door.
That's why we're calling it a Delco-A-Thon. It's not a telethon because you don't have to call in and do it. Just click on the link, share the link out, do whatever you want to do, and try to make whatever we want to try to raise some money before we walk in the first second of Delco.
Jerry Lewis can kick rocks. Am I right? That's who used to do those telethons, right?
Pretty much. And our first guest is going to be the leader of Headstrong.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, Cheryl Kalori, president, leader,
the czar.
Yes, whatever you want,
the czar.
Whatever term you want to use in this situation.
The head honcho of Headstrong.
Yeah, the Headstrong honcho.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, she's calling in a hot second, right? So tonight you're going to be hearing from people who have worked at Headstrong, people who have stayed at Headstrong, people who benefit from Headstrong. You're going to be hearing from some of the performers that are going this week, or sorry, at Delco Day. Just all sorts of people for the next 4 hours. And if we don't raise 10 grand in the next 4 hours, I will not do anything. But still, if we raise 10 grand, I will light that Holiday Inn sign in Drexel Hill.
He will still have credit card debt.
I will literally light that on fire, and I will go to jail, and I won't care as long as I'm out by the 11th. If you're wondering, Delco Day is June 11th at Marty McGee's, Prospect Park, Pennsylvania, 190, numbers, from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. 15 acts, local vendors, local people. I'm sure there'll be some politicians trying to get their names out there. Oh, cool. That smoke detector still goes off? Neat.
And it's still our awesome sponsors, which we'll get into very shortly, fatcowjerky.com, as well as Dolans Bar. We'll get to them after we talk to Cheryl in about a moment or two.
You look like a serial killer on your camera.
Do I?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's just a bad angle of you, dude. I know you probably think it's a good angle.
I don't think it's a good angle at all.
It makes you look less fat, but it also makes you look like if Tom Morello was homeless.
First part, does it?
Yeah, it makes you look like if Tom Morello was homeless.
Is that better?
No, it's just the same thing. Now you actually look a little fatter.
I'm fatter, but more. It's just the same amount of serial killer.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you look plastic. Did you have work done?
Just shiny. I just didn't wash my face well enough. I guess maybe.
Just to say because you're Italian.
Because actually for an Italian, I am not as greasy as I should be. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
For non-Italian, I'm greasier than I should be.
Yeah. Well. But so tonight it's guys a special episode. Like Holbrook mentioned, it's gonna be 4 hours. We're gonna be on here for 4 hours.
I won't pee once.
Yeah, we'll be talking. It'll be our normal goofy self to a point, but it's going to be. We're going to have a lot of people from either Headstrong or who have stayed at the Headstrong house call in, tell their stories. We're going to hear from Freddie Burns, who his son will be the benefactor of this year's Delco Day, and we'll be hearing his story, what he's been going through. And I believe she is on the line right now.
Do it.
Here we go.
Good evening, caller. You're live on Delco Live, the special Delco-A-Thon telethon, video-a-thon. Do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hi, it's Cheryl Cole from the Headstrong Foundation.
Hi, Cheryl.
That's what you bring to the tables. Hi, Cheryl. We apologize already. We're so out of our normal zone. It's not 9:30 at night, and
Yeah.
Holbrook hasn't turned into a pumpkin yet, so he's not exactly himself just yet.
My dinner was
Well,
half a bag
I
of
don't
hot
think this
fries.
keeps helping.
What where are you calling from today, Cheryl?
I'm actually calling from my office in Delco.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, June 11th is Delco Day 7. It is we don't count Delco 5. We say that went to everyone. So this will be the fourth or fifth time that Headstrong has been the recipient or working with for this whole thing. We learned about Headstrong on a previous show after Headstrong got in the debacle with a couple neighbors in Swarthmore over the house, and we felt a certain
Yeah.
way about it. And Headstrong has grown leaps and bounds since then. So
It's been
let
Mhm.
let our viewers that for this beautiful Delco-A-Thon 2022 know what the mission of Headstrong is and a little bit about the origins.
Absolutely positively. So our mission continues in memory of our founder, Delco, born and bred and raised, Nick Laurie. Our mission is to improve the lives of those affected by cancer. It's been an absolute unbelievable journey to be on and to witness the growth has been so rewarding and such a compliment, really. And I know there's a whole bunch of people that are responsible for our success, but at the end of the day, it started with Nick, and just his experience being suddenly diagnosed with cancer and having our world turned upside down. And you know what? He said, I'm going to use my platform. I'm going to be a voice and I'm going to just bring awareness to the disease. I'm going to create an organization that provides direct service to families. And I thought, you might be onto something. I made the mistake on Mother's Day of going up into my loft and I just wanted to kind of reminisce. And Mother's Day is a tough day for me, especially any mom that has lost a child, whatever the cause is. And I started going through some of these things, and I was really torn up. It really broke me up. As a mom, I'm supposed to be able to fix things and put a band-aid on it and kiss it, make it better. I couldn't fix this, and that really hurts me to this day. But when I look at the work that he put into this organization and the blueprints and the platform and, just his whole vision. And then at the end of his life, placing it in my hands and say, Mom, I need you to continue this so that other people following in my footsteps will benefit from the life that I've lived. And you know what? I was so blown away by that. But at a time in his life where he could be selfish, he was more concerned about other people and how his life could influence and assist. And I think, you know, he just really set the tone. And I'm just in awe of my son. And, he really he was Delco. He was hard nosed, blue collar. He wasn't afraid of hard work, whether it be on the playing field or living his life. He was passionate, and he's my hero at the end of the day.
So just because
Yeah,
this is Delco-A-Thon, tell us. I
yeah,
mean, tell us about him and you and all the Kyle Lowry's coming up in the area, and
yeah.
I mean, as sad as it is, the story that led us to like him making this his
Right.
mission from his deathbed. Like, what led to that? I
Well,
mean, we've got plenty of time, and the more
uh,
Delco, the more honest details we give you, the more
yeah.
people are going to respond.
Well, what's beautiful right now is that my granddaughter is the third generation Kalilori at Amos Land Elementary School on Amos Land Road in Ridley, right? And we raised our family. I was born and raised in Delaware County. We raised our children, 4 boys, in Delaware County. And, there's just something about it. We can't go anywhere. Here's a prime example. I walked on the beach on Saturday.
Essington?
2 seconds later, the beach down the shore
I
in
thought
Wildwood Crest.
He thought you meant Delco Beach.
Yeah, Delco Beach, like in Essington behind Lou Terrace.
And I had somebody walk up to me and say, Delco, right? And I said, yes. And they said, are you the Calori family? And I said, yeah. It's like random, just so random. But, it just, you can always connect somebody to Delco.
Absolutely.
And it's, so we raised our children. We've been residents. I've been residents of Delaware County my entire life. We proudly operate our Nick's house, and our headquarters for the Headstrong Foundation is in Delco. And, I would love to believe that we're one of the first people that are called when there is a newly diagnosed patient or family. And, we pride ourselves on, just that empathetic approach, understanding what someone is going through when they're hearing this news that there's a cancer diagnosis. It really throws you for a loop. The rug is pulled out from under you, and you haven't even begun to understand the emotional piece and the financial implications. And, it continues through the entire, listen, it's still impacting me 15 years later. We are standing tall 15 years here. And, Delaware County was everything to our children. Our children were asked to, our 2 younger sons were really tremendous athletes. And they were asked to consider private school, right? And it's like, there's just no way. We bleed. This is where we put it all on the line.
What private school would you have chosen? And there is only one correct answer.
Wait a second. What was that?
What private school would you have chosen? And there is only one correct answer.
Oh my goodness, I don't know, but I would think it would be Episcopal Academy or the Haverford School. But,
those are acceptable. I would have said Bonner, but that's okay.
And you're the only one.
Okay. Well, you our children. I went to Ridley. I went to Amosland. I went to Ridley. Proud class of 1976. All 4 of our children attended, Ridley High School. I don't think there's a family out there that bleeds green more than we do. And there's a scholarship at
Wait,
Ridley and Nick's name.
Is that why Headstrong's color is green? Is it because of Ridley?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. That green is more like not a Kelly it used to be Kelly back in my day, okay? And then it went over to like a hunter green, but lime green represents the color of the cancer that my son had, and he chose that color as his awareness, his awareness platform. He had a mature B-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And, when we got into this, you hear the diagnosis lymphoma, I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't know that it was a systemic disease. I didn't know that there were 150 different forms of lymphoma. Of course, Nick had an extremely aggressive mature B-cell non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he, unfortunately did not respond to the treatments that were available at that time. And I'll tell you, they threw the book at him. They threw every treatment under the sun at him. In the meantime, he kept positive. He kept strong, both mentally and physically. He created the organization from his hospital bed. Who does that? He polled patients. What can we do to change the boredom and the monotony and the anxiety? And what can we do to help with the financial piece? I took a leave of absence from work. We're a blue-collar family. What did that mean? It meant no income. It meant paying back your health insurance when I got back to work 14 months later. It took us 5 years to recover financially from Nick's illness. We never discussed the monetary implications of this disease because I needed Nick to stay focused on, positive things around him and really focus on just getting better.
So that's one main piece about that is you're saying this and essentially by comparison to a lot of families nationwide, you guys actually didn't have it the worst. That's why the Nick's house is so great. I assume that Nick's treatments were mostly at hospitals in this area, which we're a very fortunate area to have with Penn and DuPont and all the ones over in South Jersey. that like can really help. And you like at least didn't have to pay for like housing, which is a big part of Nick's house and the one in Swarthmore.
Well, right. Well, what's interesting is at the end of Nick's life, the doctor came in and said, Nick, things aren't so good. And Nick's like, you know what? I'm not ready. I want to see what else is out there. And they said, there's a clinical trial in Bethesda, Maryland. We said, how fast can we get our bags packed? We can be ready in 15 minutes.
Right.
And we did. We went down to Bethesda, Maryland, to the National Institute of Health, which I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, I thought it was just for polio and smallpox and all that. Just from movies.
Yeah, we experienced what it was like living out of, living out of a suitcase, and being confined to one room. And, there were 7 of us that were in this room, and we made the best of it. And you know what? If I could go back and do it all over again, I would do the exact same thing.
7 of you in one room down in Bethesda?
You got it.
All the kids went down too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
and
good
Nick's
family.
girl. So yes, there were 7 of us in the room.
Wow.
And you know what? We made the best of it. And love is really what I think got us through difficult times, just being there for one another. And we all experienced something different. So we knew the importance of being able to offer a home away from home. We also met a family that was living in the parking garage at the hospital. So these things do happen. People do not have the means, the money to pay for a hotel room. A hotel room in the city of Philadelphia for 30 days is $10,000.
Jesus.
That doesn't include your meals. And so.
And you don't have income coming in the whole time, most likely. Yeah, you're not.
You
working.
do not.
Yeah.
If you are a parent and your child is ill, and you have to take a leave of absence from work, which is what I did, you are not eligible to file for short-term disability because it's not you. You are not the patient.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, you're right.
There are not a whole lot of options. You know what? It was one of the most difficult times in my life, but I have to just say that, I would have lived in a box if I had to get Nick better. If we didn't have a choice, and the box would become our home, and you know what, we would have made the best of it. So to be able to walk alongside of a family who's experiencing and going through the very thing that we experienced, I think people look to us and our family as, we're still standing, and we're an open book. We're happy to share our story. We're happy to share how we made the decisions that we made with regards to Nick's health. And, it was a very, very, very difficult time. But I give thanks every day for the gift of Headstrong. And, it just allows us to move through life without Nick. And at the same time, keep him close by because, like right now, we're talking about him tonight.
Yeah.
This weekend was really hard for us because he was undergoing transplant. We were in the hospital 15 years ago. Every time during the year, there are certain periods, certain days, certain months, certain holidays is really, really tough because, there's always that empty chair at our table. We always reminisce about what he had to endure and the suffering, which is really, really a hard thing to do. We've shed many tears. Heck, I cry alongside the families because, I understand what they're going through. Now, the families at Nick's house, they have left everything behind. They have left their jobs, their families, their support system, everything in an attempt, I'm getting choked up, to save their child or their brother or their spouse's life. Their loved one is coming here because there is no other choice. They have to do this. And we've had some wonderful success stories. And I say that we give people accessibility to care. And, there are times where if Nick's house wasn't available, they were going to throw in the towel and say, we just couldn't do it. We had a family that told us that they had made funeral arrangements. And they found out about Nick's house and thought they'll give it a shot. He's in complete remission.
That's amazing.
So we've had some wonderful, stories. Now, locally, we are just thrilled to be able to be a shoulder to families, to listen, to help give them some guidance, to provide them funding. We give it unquestionably. Like, you do what you want with it. We know how difficult it is to just try to put food on the table, to try to keep your lights on. We had a local family during COVID. This is a crazy story, but I got a phone call from Penn, and they said, "Hey, we have a gentleman here that is really, really struggling, could use your help." We gave a call. We find out that he has leukemia. He's in the hospital going through a bone marrow transplant. His wife had the same exact cancer as Nick. They both lost their jobs due to COVID. They had 2 children. So they have both parents, both battling cancer, and both lost their jobs due to COVID. I don't know. I said, how the heck can you possibly do this? We had another family locally here that we're involved with, and single dad. And his daughter was diagnosed on the first anniversary of her mother's passing. He called me and he said, "I have insurance and I'm in complete disbelief. My daughter has to get a Neupogen shot. She has to have it every other week. Insurance company just called me. My copay is $2,700.40. One shot." He said, "I didn't know whether to laugh or cry." And honestly, the cost of cancer care, you can expect a 40% increase in your living expenses or, your bills due to cancer. The most common cause of personal bankruptcy in the United States of America is a cancer diagnosis. That's a fact.
Jesus.
It's just
no, you're absolutely right. And when we as Delco Live started working with Headstrong, just how many 4 years ago was it? 5 years ago?
At least
So 5
4,
years. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I still can't believe you deal with a bunch of knuckleheads like us. But hey, God bless you. But
We'll take any type of pussy we can get. Just kidding.
Al, they'll take anything.
they'll take it.
That's where we step
Why
up.
does every woman say, "I guess I can take anything I can get in this one"? But no,
It's something I'll deal with.
and Holbrook said our knowledge of you, our situation, learning about you guys was through that crazy story that made it through the news
It
and
started out of
popularity. It started out of us getting very spiteful about this. Like, we're going to do something. Like, we're going to make them a charity of ours. But I never thought when we started doing this that you guys would actually be helping a close friend of mine with Freddie with this situation. I never thought when we started doing Delco Day and giving back to the community and all those kind of things that I would have to be doing this, helping a friend out, this close, because of anybody who knows. We're doing it for working with you guys to help Freddie Burns, fighting for Freddie.
Yep.
And I've worked with him doing Edge of Philly Sports now for about 3 years. And just the fact that guys have done for him so far alone has been helpful. It's just been amazing. Like, he's been telling me, about the financial burden. Like, it just I've heard what you've said before, but now I've seen it like firsthand, and it's amazing what you guys do.
You're seeing now, this is full circle for you.
Yeah.
But what you're seeing the impact of the dollar. Okay, we try to be as transparent as we can. Our 501c3 means so much to us because we work so hard day in, day out. This isn't a 9 to 5. Okay, we're in it for look at the time of the day right now. We work all hours of the day. We work all days of the week, and we need to do whatever we need to do so that we can have the greatest impact that we can in Nick's name. And I like that it's come full circle because now you can see firsthand the importance of the work that continues in Nick's memory.
Yeah, one of the that's actually what it comes down to is like when we learned about what Headstrong was, they're like, this is really cool, and we're like, it's awesome that it's literally based out of here, and we actually took it as mentally. We're just like, it's these people coming from all over the town. We've been to Nick's house, met families from all over the world, Texas, like weird parts of New Jersey, you forget about Central PA, and it's like they have to come here and they have to make Delco their home, and it's just like, wow, that's really cool. We actually have something to offer and make it someone else's home. And then we did it for like 3 or 4 years, and we're like, that's really cool, and we're helping like this out, but it's their main thing is people from out of the town. And then it's just when this opportunity came up and Headstrong really want to step up and help the Burns family, we're just like, they made everyone else, like they made all these people from outside Delco home. Now it's the help is coming home as well.
Well, there's a lot. Let me tell you something. The majority of the work that we do is right here in our own backyard
Yeah.
because where we live, it's where we eat, it's where we,
Yeah.
it's but I was shocked when Jeff said, "You're not going to believe this." They're very, close to Freddie's fat. I
Yeah.
said, "You guys got to be kidding me! It's such a small world.
Well,
It
it's
even
Delco.
gets smaller."
Well, just for those, because I know you got to get going soon, because we're actually going to have another family call in shortly. But for those who are listening, we, like I said, we refer to tonight as a Delco-A-Thon, because you guys, working with you guys has been, borderline amazing, not just for what you've done, but how easy you make it to be. Because we have a link up in our chat right now for anybody who's listening on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is you're listening on. If you want to donate, if you want to get your Delco Day tickets now, however you want to do it, $5, $5,000, whatever you can do, just click on that link and start. We're trying to start Delco Day a little earlier this year. We love
I like it.
it's our favorite holiday, and now we're trying to make it everybody's favorite
And,
holiday.
and
So
and also, if we don't raise $30,000, I have to light myself on fire at the end of Delco Day. And we're we're getting there. We're doing well, but I'm not trying to light myself on fire.
I also want to mention that anybody feel free to go to headstrong.org. Follow us on social at Headstrong FND. If anybody needs us, by all means, please reach out. You will get a live body, a live person, I promise. And, we just pride ourselves on that. And I think as you hear from some of these people that are in your lineup tonight, they're people that Delaware County people that we've actually assisted, families that stayed at Nick's house that, have become part of Delaware County, and they take that home with them. And it's always a very, very special place in their hearts, because without Delaware County, they would not most likely be here today.
100%. I mean, actually, one of the things is, like, we've done this for years, and we know about Nick's house, we know about the Swarthmore house and all that. We know about the trying to branch out to other towns and whatnot. But I just even posted today that we were doing this Delco-A-Thon, and random people were coming out of the woodwork that I've known for years. They're just like, God bless the Headstrong Foundation. They helped me out in a rough time. Like, why didn't you say that till today?
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really proud to lead the charge, and I give thanks every day that Nick had the confidence in his mom that that we could continue. And I'm so proud of how far we've come. And our future looks bright, and the need is critical. And we were happy to say we were back in the hospital, just that we were at Penn a couple of weeks ago, and in person for the first time in 2+ years.
There
and
you go.
It was wonderful to be able to just to touch the lives of the people that are forced to be in the hospital. And it's a lonely and very full of anxiety. So to be able to go in and just uplift spirits, distribute comfort kits, and being a resource to families has just been our greatest achievement.
Well, you guys have been the single best entity I've ever worked with, ever. Like, charity, non-charity, business, non-business, I've ever dealt with. I know Al thinks the same thing.
Thank you. We appreciate that. It means a whole lot to us. We've done hard, and we want to always be the easy part, whether it be our corporate relationships, our partners, our supporters, and most important, the people that are battling cancer, right? It's such a difficult time that to be the easy part in the equation is just one of our top priorities.
Absolutely. Al, any more input?
No, sure. We appreciate your time. I know we have a couple other callers calling in a moment. So we appreciate everything you do. We appreciate it, Headstrong. And here's the Delco Day.
And you're getting $30,000 on Delco Day, or I will light myself on fire.
Thank you, guys.
All right, take it easy. Have a great.
Thanks, Mrs. C.
Yeah, I don't know if we want you to light yourself on fire, because we've all smelled burnt garbage before.
I'm trash.
But speaking of Headstrong, first part, Spaz has joined us tonight. Thank you, Spaz. What's going on, buddy? And the man over at Headstrong that we've been working with since day one, Jeff Baxter, joins us. Jeff, what's going on, brother?
Going on? Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. And we, I think they might have called already, because they called a couple minutes early, but we're going to have Chris Mandarino. Am I saying that right? Mandarino calling in shortly. He Not just yet. We'll give him a second to call back. If
Al,
not,
fun thing about phones, since
I
Alexander
will
Graham
call.
Bell invented them, they dial too.
Yep, I give him a second. I'll give him a second.
So
But
you're hot trash and he's old.
Yeah. And
Just call
we're
0 and ask for Agnes the operator, and she'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Call KL5
Yeah, I was going to say,
9732.
is there letters involved there?
Yeah.
Not calling.
Dial 1010.
But for those who are joining us, and actually there's a couple, I think Kathy Gibson Gallagher, she goes, "Oh my God, it's this Saturday." No, Kathy, it's next Saturday. I just want to make sure you're not ending up at Marty McGee's expecting Delco. Hey, go to Marty McGee's, have a great time. Don't get me wrong, but it's not Delco Day. It's the 11th, so we got one more week. It feels like it's next Saturday. I can honestly say from doing this, it always feels like it's next Saturday to me.
I panicked when I found out it was 2 Saturdays ago when I woke up today.
Yeah,
I was like, we got time. Like, I have 6 hours.
Yes.
Oops.
Yeah, it's but
picked a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies, Al.
With the help of Jeff tonight, like I said, we have a link. I pinned it in the comment section in Facebook and in YouTube. That way, if you're just listening, you're like, I can't make Delco Day. Well,
what the hell's wrong with you?
You know,
what, your parole officer aren't letting you out? I'll talk to them.
Yeah, well, if you can't make it, at the very least, what you can do is you can donate. You can go on there and you can donate $5, $5,000,
$6.10,
anything you want.
And sharing's huge.
Share this out.
Caring.
Tag friends, tag businesses,
tag enemies.
Like make it a competition because Delco's spiteful. Like, hey, I donated $100. Can you beat me? Like, whatever it is.
This event was based off spite and grew out of spite, and here we are.
I think we have a call here.
Here we are, rock you like a hurricane.
Hey, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris. It's also Chris.
Hey, another Chris.
Hey.
There's a lot of Chris's.
There's a lot of Chris's. Right, too many Chris's in the studio for my
Your name is according to apparently. How old are you?
42.
Yeah, apparently in the 80s there was only a handful of names you can name your kids around here. There's several Chris's on here. If you're not Chris, you're Matt, you're Mike, you're John, or you're Andrew.
My older brother's Mike as well. So
there you
got
go.
That going.
It was all the androgynous saints. Like, we didn't know if they were Irish, Italian, or Greek. They're all just the same.
Absolutely.
All right, so apparently you're Italian because I'm reading your last name now. Mandarino.
Yes, I am. Yep. It is very Italian. I heard you guys earlier. Not the greasy type either.
I'm Italian. I can make that joke. I can make that joke. I'm Italian.
So Chris Mandarino, you have received support from Headstrong in the past. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in my car, so you just broke up. So I need you to repeat that.
So
I'm on my way to a practice.
You're a practice for what?
Lacrosse. Yeah, I coach lacrosse.
Oh, that's something
Headstrong. That's the other half of Headstrong that I didn't know if I was going to bring up or not. But that's
there you go. Bring up whatever you want.
On my way to lacrosse practice.
Bring up whatever you want. You got at least half an hour.
There you go.
All right, so Chris Mandarino, 42 years old. Where are you from?
Yep. I am from Havertown now. I grew up in Ballackinwood, went to Lower Marion High School. And then
wait, did you go with Kobe?
Delco. Yeah, I was a freshman when he was a senior.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool year.
That's pretty dope. So
yeah.
Havertown, you're ritzy, you're fancy from that side of the county.
Yeah. No, we're not too fancy. We're in a twin, my girlfriend and I. So we're staying humble.
Gotcha. So it says here you received some financial support in the past. What happened that got you set up with Headstrong?
Yeah, so about this time last year, I noticed a mole on my ear. I wasn't seeing a dermatologist, and I called my father, he's a doctor, and I asked him to refer me to somebody who could remove the mole. I just wanted the mole off my ear, my own vanity.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get me in until August. And I even tried to pull the doctor's side. I didn't really cry wolf, but they got me in August. 3 days later, the plastic surgeon dermatologist guy calls me back and tells me I have a T4 mole, which basically the moles go from T1 to T4, T4 being like the worst case scenario, which of course I had to have. So talking to hearing Cheryl and talk before with my insurance through my company, he did his surgeries out of Phoenixville, and my insurance wasn't accepted. So I was on the run trying to find where I could go to, have my surgery in October. I was fortunate enough to find an oncologist and a surgeon at Lankenau Hospital over in Wynwood, and that's who I've been using ever since. And then it gets even crazier. So the first surgery was October 8th. They removed a little lymph node and did a couple of probe type of things.
This is all to the ear still, or was it like a surrounding area?
Well, yeah, so they wanted to try to find where it. So even before that, I had the plastic surgeon take out 18 millimeters of my ear. You really can't tell, but a plastic surgeon did it. So that was actually painful. He did it because he accepted my insurance at his office, but Phoenix still didn't accept it for the surgery. So I had him do the margins because I wanted to make sure that they came back clean, which they did. But that was just under local anesthesia, and that was one of the more painful things I've ever had to go through. And I've done a couple painful things.
Where was it on the ear? Where was it on the ear?
Right on where people get like that top piercing.
Yeah.
Like that, like guys or girls. It was right there. Like it was a freckle my whole life, and then I got sunburned a couple of times, and then
the ridges got weird and they started growing and started hurting.
Yeah, then last summer I got really sunburned, and it was just one of those nasty moles. Like you knew something wasn't right with it. So then I had the surgery in October, and then everything came back clean. But they, schedule your 3 follow-ups, and I go back in January, and I'm talking to my oncologist, and I'm like, I think I have like a cyst behind my ear that needs to be lanced. He's like, nah, you're going up to the surgeon right now.
No.
He's going to do a biopsy. So he did a punch biopsy, and this is where it gets even crazier. Basically, 5 days apart, I find out my girlfriend's pregnant, and my cancer was back. And it was pretty crazy. And then he's telling me I had to get, and the surgeon I actually really trust. We actually played for the same high school coach, but he played in the 70s. I obviously played in the 90s, but
what high school coach? Give him a shout out.
Another lacrosse. What's that?
What high school coach? Give him a shout out.
John Lenahan, Mr. John Lenahan out of Lower Marion. He was there. He's a Havertown native. He went to Haverford High and then played for the Wings. He was one of 2 Americans on like the original Wings team.
There we go.
The rest were Canadian. The rest were Canadian.
Canadian, yeah.
So then the March surgery, which was March 7th, it was a modified neck dissection, which basically means they took out half of my neck muscle. Like I still don't really smile right. They said that's going to come back, but from the side of my mouth down to my shoulder, I'm pretty much numb. And then this is where just
Now, why is that? Why is that? Because the cyst that was on the back of the ear, that stemmed from the first one.
Came back. The cancer came back. So I was originally stage 2. This coming back made it stage 3, which I was, I guess, blissfully unaware that was even the case.
And they had to take out the neck because the lymph nodes were like connected, and they got to get those out.
They took about 40 out.
40.
They just had to go off with it. Yeah, they took basically. You could ask Jeff. He came over for lunch about a week after surgery, and it was pretty crazy.
My God, I thought everyone only had like
2 drains in my neck. Everything came back clean. Even my oncologist was stunned. He was like, I can't believe not like 5 to 10 came back hot. Nothing. So I'm doing immunotherapy. Actually, I have immunotherapy again tomorrow, but I'm doing immunotherapy every 3 weeks. And it's crazy. Like, thank God for insurance, but you still, like, even my second surgery was total, if I didn't have insurance, $55,000.
God.
Like you literally, besides knowing I have a daughter coming in July, like it's crazy. It's the numbers. You're like $500 for a Tylenol. It's like I can go to Rite Aid right now and go grab my own. But no, it's like the care, and obviously just knowing Headstrong. And even when I was coaching at Springfield Delco, when Headstrong was in its infancy, we'd all have the green laces in our shoes. There's a bigger meaning to what they do over there, and it's honestly it's been a godsend because I never would have asked for help. I can do everything for myself, and sometimes you just need an angel to come down and tell you you're gonna be all right.
So wait, this January is when you found out about it coming back, and your kids do next month, like July.
Yep.
Well, that's exciting.
Yep, late July. So it's been a whirlwind, and on top of that, still coaching and doing well, obviously I took a 2-week break because I wasn't allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
Because I left the hospital with 2 drains in my neck. Like it was it was not a fun. This wasn't something I'd wish upon anybody.
Yeah, you're speaking pretty well for someone who can't use part of their face right now.
It's not too bad. It's just I look like Bill Murray from Caddyshack when he's hanging out with Chevy Chase.
Well, the best part about it is when you're done playing golf on it, you can smoke the bejesus out of it, so that works out.
Exactly, that's exactly what they would do. So yeah,
sorry.
It's not too bad as long as I don't smile too big. Obviously my good friends and everybody else will, plus my stones a little bit. So I got to give them credit for that, keeping me humble.
So in this whole thing, you were saying that how'd you get caught up with Headstrong in this?
So randomly, one of my good friends and teammates' older brother and Jeff were at a barbecue or a fire pit party, and that's how small and close knit the world of lacrosse is. Him and Clyde Christmas start talking, and Clyde just mentioned that I had cancer, and Lower Merion was doing fundraising for Headstrong as well. But
out of the blue, it was just happened to be doing a campaign that I run called Attack Cancer.
The world's full of strange miracles.
And we always love to support somebody within the community where the fundraising is coming from, and it just so happened that Clyde was telling me about Chris. I knew Chris from years ago, and I reached out to him on Facebook, and next thing you know, we were having lunch, and we were able to help him financially.
Is Clyde the guy who was on the Wings forever?
His little brother.
Oh, okay.
No, John, his younger brother John and I were teammates in high school, and then my older brother and the oldest Christmas were teammates at Lower Merion. But that's just how close knit the lacrosse community is. It's crazy. Everybody knows everybody.
Just at a local fire pit. We just got a Delco neighborhood.
That's all.
It's Delco.
That's how most things happen in Delco anymore.
And what support was Headstrong able to provide in this whole thing?
Yeah, they were able to give me a monetary grant. Definitely helped me out with some of the bills. Like, here's the other crazy thing that you don't even think about, or I didn't think about before my surgery. The anesthesia part and the surgery are completely separate.
Mm-hmm.
And if I ever come back or go back to school, I'm coming back as an assistant anesthesiologist because they make $100 less than the actual head anesthesiologist. So I'm definitely, kids, if you're listening, go into anesthesia because apparently they're making a pretty penny.
The old saying is an anesthesiologist can make or break a surgery.
Oh man, no, it was crazy though. But they've honestly helped me tremendously. Actually, here's even the funnier part of insurance and everything else. I owe more for the $14,000 surgery in October than I do for the $55,000 surgery in March.
Yeah. That'll happen.
That's unbelievable to me.
Yeah, and I think one thing like your story and what Cheryl was saying earlier, I don't think people understand, because a lot of people think like I said, when I first heard about Headstrong, I had a very small idea, and we thought
I was just angry at their neighbors.
Well, that was that too, but
thought that's sophomore for you.
They do good. It's not going to stop me from pooping in their mailbox.
But the fact is that it can help out. It can help out other Delconians, because a lot of people thought it was just people from outside the area, and I actually had that kind of idea from the get-go. That's kind of people who don't live directly close enough and need a place to stay. But the fact that they're able to do all these things just for the community as well, the word amazing, I don't think is enough to say at this point.
Yeah. And I wouldn't, if Jeff didn't reach out, like you said, that angels or that God moment or God punch, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't have reached out, even though obviously, you could always use the help. I'm going to figure it out how to, pay off what I owe. So it's unbelievable what they do. And it's, I can't thank them enough. I've even already told Jeff, anytime I could do anything for Headstrong, please let me know.
Yeah, you're going to come by on June 11th?
I'm going to try. I got to coach. Of course, I'm going to be coaching. So I have to. Now just picture, now I'm coached bucket hat, full on sunscreen.
Sure.
It's one of those things where you don't even think about it in our 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you guys are, but it's you don't even, I remember going to the Dominican Republic and we forgot sunscreen. So we got, I had oil in my bag and I'm I'm half Italian. God, I passed out on the beach and was, peeling skin off my body. All it takes is one burn from melanoma. That's crazy.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's in a severe
did not
case,
know
but
that.
yeah, no, just
Like,
that's the only other thing I could say is you know go get your moles checked.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
telling
mean,
you right
that's
now.
why I don't
You
wear.
never
That's why I
know.
wear a shirt on the beach for 2 reasons now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely sporting that dad bod these days. So especially even the younger kids I coach, they're like, "How are you good once?" So I was like, I promise.
What team do you coach?
Right. Well, I'm back helping Lower Marion High School. I run Ashby, which is what I grew up playing, and then this Tigers 2026 team.
What
They're
team you
pretty
coach on
special.
the
They're
11th?
eighth. What's that?
What team are you coaching on the 11th?
The Tigers. They're basically the best 2026. So they go by graduation year now. It's not like U15 in our day. They're eighth graders, rising freshmen in high school, but they're probably like the best around as far as like the eighth graders.
Who are you playing?
It's all random tournament, or it's all random teams, but it'll be like Long Island Express, like all the hotbeds. Everybody who thinks they're the best. This is where we figure out who's the best and roll the ball at it.
Well, they're all trash, and they should all come to Delco Day when all said and done. It's 12 hours long. You can come before they play. They can come in the middle of them playing. They can come afterwards.
I'll definitely be over after. We'll be at Kirkwood Soccer Club in Delaware, but I'll definitely stop by afterwards. Say hello to you guys. You guys are doing. You don't need to.
The later
do this
the better.
on your own. It's a team effort.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we appreciate that.
Dude.
But no, and actually, it's always funny. I got to call Jeff out because he's Mr. Humble too. Even when I tried to thank him on Facebook, he's like, "No, Clyde deserves all the credit." And I'm like, "Jeff, you made it happen. Come on, you make a lot of things happen. So don't let that guy." I know he already texted me. He said he's sitting in the studio, and I heard him before. So that guy does a lot. So don't let him.
Jeff has the hardest job because ever since we started working with Headstrong,
he has to be our liaison.
He has to work as our liaison. He has to decipher these like Muppets conversations. Like I could just imagine like going back to Cheryl and all the other people. Like, so I was talking to Delco Live, and they're just like, ugh.
Half my texts
We love it.
Half my texts are hieroglyphics on a drinking bench. Like,
I must say, you guys are the only people that I'll meet at like 11 o'clock at a bar in Clifton.
Because that's where we are, and it's usually a weekday.
It's called our office.
Yeah.
We can write it off on our taxes.
Be at a bar at 11:30 on a Sunday night.
Well, then why are they open till 2?
Exactly.
Hey, can I ask Chris? Chris, this is the other Italian Chris here.
Hey,
so you got
what's
what's up, brother? I'm a Ridley guy. I'm right around your age, so
okay.
Yeah. I actually went to school with Jeff when we were younger for a couple years, and
okay.
Great story, brother. We're pulling for you. You said your girlfriend's pregnant. She's having the baby next month. Did I hear that?
Yeah.
Yep. We're having a baby girl.
Baby, awesome, man. I have a couple of them. It's the best.
Yeah, it's just when they turn teenagers, you got to be worried.
Is this is it your first?
Yeah, it's our first
Awesome.
child. I finally had to get all my like snowboard, lacrosse stuff, and golf clubs out of our one spare bedroom. I voted for baby in the basement. That lost. That lost very quick. But no, the snowboard and the golf clubs are now in the basement. We're getting the room ready.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You're gonna find a lot of things that bring you joy are gonna go away. I'm just kidding.
Come on.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine. Our dog gets us up at 4 a.m. every morning to go out. So, and he's almost 10. It's not even like he's a puppy. So,
have you guys
I'm already in training for it.
Have you picked a name yet?
So it's one of those things where she's got some stipulations. If it's a blonde, Heather wants Hazel. And if it's a brunette or any other hair color, we're looking at Madison. And then, of course, the other day she's like, "How about Hope?" And she said it around my mom and her mom. So they were like, "Oh, I like Hope." I'm like, "Oh my God, can we just?"
This kid's gonna have 6 names.
Wait a minute. She's calling an audible with a month out.
I like Hope.
Yeah, I don't think we're calling. Well, we also went to the point of we need to see her. I think once we have her in our arms, and she just. I don't even
That's
know
kind of like when I had my first kid. I had a couple names in my head, and actually the original name we were going to run with. I actually had a little hat for the kid that had what we were going to name him because I was going to name him Sonny, and it said that, and so some people close to me called him Sonny for the first couple weeks of his life. But I actually, at the last minute, I said, no, we're going with this. And I changed it to my grandfather's names. Like, I just, at the last moment,
Hey,
change. It's like you kind of have to make that call right then and there.
Did you spell it right?
yeah.
Yeah, Colin.
Well, it's even funnier. My mom doesn't like Hazel because I guess there was a show in the '60s, and Hazel was like, I guess, one of the maids or something of the show. So it's like you can't. The one thing I've learned from a couple of my friends is like you just don't tell anybody baby names.
Yeah,
Until,
yeah, they're not gonna
until
like
you
wait till the
have it.
baby's born. But they're gonna say, "Ooh, I hate
Well,
your kid's name."
Well, being as creative, obviously, we weren't trying to be surprised at birth, so but before we knew the sex, I already had pulled we're going Christopher Jr. since my brother's like Michael the fifth and his son's like the sixth, or he's the fourth and my nephew's the fifth. But
Christopher Jr.
Like, all right. Yeah,
It's a
well,
great
I was
name.
gonna
It's a
go
great
with that,
name.
but I
CJ.
thought it had a good ring to it.
It's a great name. What's his name? Yo, just make sure. Just from I don't have kids, but I know from personal experience. Make sure that you spell everything right on the birth certificate, so that let's say your parents use your middle name as Colin, and they spell it wrong, and all of a sudden you spend 35 years with your middle name as Colin.
Oh, but yeah, you can't do that. You got to at least double check.
Well,
No,
Gene
it
and
can't happen.
Helen Holbrook did that in 1986. Fun fact.
It's the best feeling in the world, Chris. Man, you're gonna love
the
it.
80s were a different time back then.
Yeah.
These
Best-
kids have no idea.
It's the best feeling in the world, brother.
Yeah.
Hardest thing, but it's
Yeah,
the best.
congratulations on having the kid, and then just if you ever need anything, let us know. We're here to help out.
Headstrong,
help you guys out,
Absolutely.
and we appreciate you
And
taking your time to call us.
Oh, you got it.
All right, Chris.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
We'll
Have
see-
a great night.
We'll see you
All right.
at Delco
You
Day.
too.
Spectacular interview. Love him.
No, and like I said, for those who are just joining us, I put into the chat the link if you want to sign up and donate whatever it is you can give. Do it. Go ahead. It's there. We are joined by Jeff Baxter here. Jeff, what's your official title? I don't think I've ever known that.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it on my email?
Senior
No, here it is.
Community Engagement Director.
Is there a junior community engagement director?
There's just community
Okay.
engagement.
Yeah,
Senior.
he's just the senior one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, thank God Jeff goes to fire pit parties.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
You know what I mean?
Say what I do.
That's
So
amazing.
you're
No,
saving lives by going drinking.
Yeah.
It's a real fucking thing. Don't question me.
You know
Judge.
what it is like, you hear from Cheryl, like, I think everybody on our team has been affected by cancer, like, pretty harshly. I lost my mom when I was 18 to breast cancer. And for several years, I was kind of lost in the sauce, didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was just trying to put one foot in front of the other. And it finally dawned on me, like, the type of person I should be. And you get through that stage of life where you're like, who am I? Like, what am I
I'm
good
still
at?
there.
So I just found it like this kind of work was suited me. And yeah, I mean, I don't make $1 million a year and probably will never do that. But like the satisfaction you get from helping somebody and meeting. So the really cool part about working at Headstrong is we get to actually meet the people we support. I've worked for 5 different charities in my career, and you can't say that for a lot of charities. Like you're just like in an office doing work. You never really see the end game of what your work goes towards.
Right, yeah.
And so, with Nick's house, I'm over there every once in a while. I get to meet somebody, when they're in the kitchen or they're going into the house and we pass each other in the backyard. I get to introduce myself, say, where they're from, and you hear their story, or like just the folks that we support. Once they're like helped, they don't leave Headstrong. Everybody wants to be a part of the team, and that's what we always say. Like Nick was a consummate teammate. He was an athlete. He 3-sport star at Ridley,
He's a beast.
All-American. He's in the Hall of Fame for Pennsylvania for the sport of lacrosse. And
What high school?
Ridley High
Ridley.
School.
well,
Yes,
Ridley. Yeah.
he won
Who?
three state championships. I
He's a
think.
beast.
And
He's a
so,
beast.
Wait, out of 4 years, he won 3 championships.
yeah, and I think they lost the 4th in
Football,
the
he
state
was a
championship.
beast.
I don't think
But-
Connor's ever even
So like
played in
he
a
was one of those
championship.
consummate teammates, and we everything we do at Headstrong reflects either Nick's mentality, his relentless spirit, or like what he went through. So like when you work for a charity, you always have to go down the brass tacks, like why was this charity started, and what it is Nick was a teammate. He was one of the best teammates. If you talk to anybody ever play with him, that's the first thing they say. And so we always say we're a teammate in the fight.
Well,
families,
it's
It's awesome.
good that you note that because in about a few minutes we're actually going to hear from Jerry Hudgens, who stayed at Nick's house. They're from he's from the Lehigh Valley, from Palmer, PA, to be exact. So we're going to hear from him in a moment. But you sent me a few videos, and one of them I'm going to play here now. It's Nick. It's a video, and his Delco accent is strong.
And you know what's really cool is like I never met Nick.
Yeah.
But watching this video, I get a sense of who he was. I had 5 teammates in college that went to Ridley, and I always like relate them and their mentality. And you know who I'm talking about. And I relate them, and I'm like, I know who Nick was. And then when I hear his voice in this video, it kind of like brings you like, okay, I get it.
We got a call here.
Oh, is it our next caller?
Might be Jerry.
Jerry, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, you are Jeremy
Hi.
Hudgens, correct?
Jerry Hudgens. Yes, sir.
Jerry Hudgens.
Hey, Jerry.
And it says here you stayed at Nick's house. We're talking
Yes, sir.
we're talking the one in Holmes, right?
No, this is the one in
Yes, sir.
Swarthmore.
Oh, this is the one in Swarthmore.
Swarthmore. That's
Oh, wait. So Nick's house is Swarthmore.
Yes.
Are they all
what's
are they all
what's the one in Holmes?
The one in Holmes. Hey, Jerry, this is Jeff. How you doing?
Good,
Jerry
how
and
are
I
you
know each other very well.
Yeah.
The Holmes house
Yeah.
was our original Nick's house. It
Okay.
actually was above our office, and so that was like the that was like the trial, right? We had this
Gotcha.
apartment. It was
Okay.
It was always filled,
Holmes.
and then the board decided, hey, if you guys want to take the next step,
Mhm.
you're gonna have to buy a property. And so they did an exhaustive search throughout the area, the region, and we thought Swarthmore was a great spot. I mean, it's in a nice town. It's next
So
to
did
a
most of
college.
Swarthmore, except for one person.
Yeah, it's on the train line,
Mhm.
and it checked all the boxes, right?
Mhm.
And so yeah, and Jerry is been a supporter of Headstrong. I won't put words in your mouth, Jerry, but since like what, 10 years, and little did he know he was going to need our help.
Oh wow.
So Jerry, I'll let you
Oh, my
you tell your
goodness.
story.
Yes, tell us from the beginning, Jerry.
Sure. So 10, 11 years ago, my wife and I and my son Nathaniel went to a lacrosse tournament, and we saw the Headstrong tent, and it caught our eye. We went over, listened to Cheryl and Pat tell the story of Nick. On the way home, I said to my wife, "This is an organization we should get behind. We should support this organization. They're doing some great things for people that need help." And then we live in the Lehigh Valley, so I was coaching and officiating in the Lehigh Valley, and I brought that story to Lehigh Valley to their end of the season tournament, youth tournament, and we invited the Cal Lauries and the Headstrong organization up there, and then have it in the Valley. We still, the tournament still goes on today.
Is that what you guys call the Lehigh Valley? You call it the Valley?
Support. Yeah, the Valley.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's news to me.
So we, they still, the Valley still supports Headstrong as much as possible. We do a couple of events. My daughter now, she does Michaela's lemonade stand to support Headstrong. Last year, I think she raised in a one-day event a little over $5,000.
My goodness.
A lot of lemonade.
And my
That
and
could pay off
son
half my
does
credit
attack.
card.
My son's been doing the Attacks Cancer fundraiser for Jeff. I think what is it, 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
And he's every year, he's been raising money also. So this organization is second to none. Saved my life, saved my family. Always my biggest saying is, and healed me physically, but emotionally, physically, and psychologically is what Headstrong healed me with.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I love that. That's powerful.
Yeah,
But-
like little did he know, like that, they've been supporting us for 10 years.
yeah.
And he ends up having to utilize the service of something that he was passionate about for
So
long.
what was the incident that led you to be on the other side of Headstrong?
So I like I said, I officiate lacrosse.
Yeah.
I was officiating an indoor tournament, and one of my fellow officials, we were in a box tournament, and right, first quarter of the game, he blows the whistle, he stops me, and he yelling at me, and I'm like, what's going on? There was no incident that should have stopped the game, and he runs over to me, goes, what's that lump on your neck? And I'm like, I just got a knot in my neck. He goes, Jerry, I'm telling you, if you don't get that knot checked out, I'm not. He's also the assigner of our league. He goes, I'm not assigning you to any more games until you get that checked out. And so we went the next day or two, went to my doctor. He right away said there's definitely something wrong.
This is on the side of the neck, the back of the neck, front of the neck?
Yeah, on the side of the neck, during the thyroid gland, right on the left side of my neck.
Yeah.
And I really did thought that's why I thought I had a knot in my neck. Just slept wrong, and it was there for a couple of days, and it didn't hurt. I didn't feel I didn't feel bad.
It was that noticeable though.
It was pretty. It was as big as a golf ball.
Oh Jesus!
Did the doctor know just from
kind of stuck out?
Did the doctor know just from looking at it, just looking?
He was pretty sure without doing any tests at all. He was pretty sure that it was a cancerous tumor.
Yikes.
Right away because so my wife called Cheryl Kawalari, and within a day or two, we were at the University of Penn doing incredible things.
Were they good? Were they like really like good in setting that up? Like it was like a better route to go through them than to actually call Penn direct?
Absolutely, absolutely. The connections the Kawalaris have. I was literally in University of Penn in 48 hours after my wife called Cheryl.
And what happened when you got there?
Almost unprecedented.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's Mrs. C.
Yes.
See, there's another aspect that people don't get. Like that's why I love doing this, because even now, like I said, 5 years we've been working with Headstrong. I'm learning something new right here. Like I'm getting like it is definitely like something that's not easy the terrain to go through with cancer treatment, but also like you wouldn't think about it until you have to do it. Where do I go? Where do I start? Where do I begin? Where do I?
Right.
The fact that the fact that you supported this whole time, and then boom, on top of it, you ended up needing it. It's just it's an amazing story. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but it's an amazing story.
So 48 hours they got you into the Penn, one of the best in this whole area for all this stuff, and what happened that day?
So I seen, believe it or not, the head of the head and neck cancer team, and that doctor, within I think we came down 2 days later. We did a biopsy. I want to say 24 hours later. I met with my oncologist, the radiation doctor. There's a team of doctors there that just, bring a group of plans together, the best treatment that they possibly, for that person. Everything's individualized per patient. It's not, you just go into a group and you get the same as everybody else. Everybody is actually personalized. So for me, I had 27 radiation treatments, and I had 3 what they call super doses of chemo. So I got my chemo once every 2 weeks, and then the following day I would get like a major flush. They flush that back out of me. So that was the super doses. I'm not sure that's what really hurt me.
What was the official diagnosis?
It was Jesus. You put me on the spot here.
Was it lymph node related? Was it lymph node related because it was on the neck like that, or was it just thyroid?
It was actually what happened was there was a tumor on the base of my tongue. That
really?
affected the lymph nodes.
Wow.
Really?
Which was actually wrapped. It was actually wrapped in the carotid artery, and that's why.
What?
So there was never surgery. Yeah, there was never surgery. Just chemo and radiation, and I'm going for my 4th scan now, and there's no signs of anything coming back.
Well, that's great.
That's amazing.
But it was on the root of your tongue, wrapped around the carotid artery, and then was poking out the side.
Yes, sir.
And you can't cut that out because it's wrapped around. Did they use the word arachnoid at one point because it wrapped around?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the head and neck surgeon said that that would be worst case, last case scenario if they couldn't treat it with the radiation chemo, but they were pretty sure that we could get with radiation and the chemo.
Did you have trouble
So
like
the name of the
swallowing or
camp-
anything beforehand? Like any signs besides like the
No,
referee?
that was the craziest part
Yeah.
about it.
Wow.
That's
So
like
the
literally the
actual
greatest
name of
ref
it
whistle
is-
of all time.
Yeah.
Like that's the greatest,
Right.
like the greatest stoppage of game I've ever heard in my life.
My
Yeah, I
God.
owe not only Headstrong, but I also great gratitude to the official that forced me to get a check because I really wouldn't have.
Did
if it
you
wasn't for him.
did you say there's 27 appointments for radiation?
Yeah, 27. So the number 27.
Do you know that was Nick Kylori's jersey number?
That's Nick's jersey number. My son wears 27. My daughter wears 27.
There we go.
I got diagnosed on the 27th of February.
There we go.
Yeah, it was really weird. The number 27 came up a lot during my treatments. So I knew Nick was with me. I knew that Calawari family was standing behind me the whole time.
That's a sign.
That's amazing.
Well, Jerry, can you explain to the guys and the people listening, like, with you being in the Lehigh Valley and having to come to Penn? I mean, that's an obvious hour and a half drive both ways.
Right. So yep. I actually live in Easton, Pennsylvania. So the
Bradley
ride
Cooper.
to Penn every day.
Is he from there?
Ride to Penn every day would have been who's that?
Is it Bradley Cooper from Easton?
Bradley Cooper.
Isn't he from Hamilton?
Is he?
Oh, I thought he was from Easton.
No, I think he went to North Penn.
Don't mind him. Just keep going.
Just keep
Easton's where Easton is.
Jared, if you hear Holbrook talk, just keep going.
He just spouts off.
He's like a child. We'll give him a Snickers. He'll come
Go to
back.
the Wikipedia.
It's where they make baseball bats.
Is it?
So the ride was about an hour and a half. Would have been an hour and a half every day. Plus time at Penn. So it just wouldn't. It didn't really fit in our schedule.
Nah.
So again, my wife asked Cheryl, would it be possible to stay down at Nick's house? And so there's a lot to go on there because you need a family member to stay with you while you're there to make sure you're safe. Because some of the treatments can get pretty harsh. You can't be at Nick's house alone. So my wife and I stayed down there for the 7 weeks while my children stayed with my sister at our place in Easton. So that's a tough situation because it was right during lacrosse season. So my son, being his sophomore year, starting goalie, didn't get to see a lot of his play time. Because being down there and traveling back and forth just wasn't in the thing and an option for us. So the FaceTimes and the calls every day were something that we look forward to.
That's awesome.
Like you said, like the story from Soup and Nuts is amazing. It's a friend that pointed that out. Literally stopped the game. He could have been like, I'll talk to him after the game. I'll talk to him later about it. And completely forgotten. God knows where that would have taken you. The fact that you were working with the Headstrong Foundation for so long already, and then and that 27 just keeps popping up. He definitely was looking after you, and it's these stories that we had after. We had our first tour of Nick's house after Delco Day 3, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And got to meet some of the families, and we had the one gentleman who said that they thought he was just kind of packing it in at that point, like he was just going to let everything play out. And if it wasn't for Nick's house, and I remember me and Holbrook just standing there like little babies, tearing up, crying, like this is.
Cry. It was hot. It was.
Yeah. All right. You can admit, dude. You're almost 40 years old. You can admit you cried. It's
I'm
all right.
not almost 40.
But Jerry, I appreciate the call and the time to take it because it's these stories that help people click on this donation button that we throw up here. These stories that help people come out to a crazy event like Delco Day and give their hard-earned money away when things are tight for a lot of people right now. So I appreciate your time and thank you for calling
Do
in.
we hear ref whistles in the background?
Yeah, are you reffing right
Are
now?
you reffing?
I'm actually at my daughter's practice.
There you go. There you go.
It's lacrosse all the time, you
I
know.
was going to say when you
That's
said
it.
it was lacrosse season, I said I know a lot of lacrosse guys, and it's always lacrosse season, from what I understood.
Fun fact, Bradley.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, and to everybody listening and watching. The Headstrong organization, you can't find a better organization. Your money is going to people that are definitely in need and helping families that are struggling with you know the devil's disease, as I call it sometimes. But it's I appreciate what you guys are doing for the Headstrong Foundation. Greatly appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate your time, Jared, and we'll hope to talk to you soon, bud. All right.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
bud.
Jared.
Thanks, Jerry.
So Bradley Cooper's not from Easton,
was gonna
but
say,
Sally Jesse Raphael is.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I can see where the mistake was
How
made.
old do you think Sally Jesse Raphael is, by the way?
72.
What do you think?
She's old, man. She's
78.
86.
87.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah.
87.
Sally Jesse Raphael is 87 years old from Easton, PA.
They also have the Crayola factory. In
Oh,
Easton, PA.
well, this is the coolest, and that's really where the Easton bats are made.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
What
pretty
the
sure.
hell, man?
You should
North-
go. Try it out.
So, real quick, guys, I want to mention, these shows that we do are brought to you by our great sponsors. I know we're a little late on it, but Fat Cow Jerky, actually, they have a great deal where you can get yourself, if you order soon, I think it's coming down to the end here. Go to fatcowjerky.com and put your order in, or go to their Facebook or Instagram. Get a chance to get this great Fat Cow Jerky T-shirt. So,
it's their 1 year anniversary today.
yes,
Did you
it
just
is.
say that?
It is 1 year anniversary as of a couple days ago.
No, today.
Is it today?
The 31st.
Okay, I
Did
wasn't.
you- oh yeah, it's today.
Yeah, so here's your chance to get your.
Do you not get their mailing letter?
I do get their mailing letter. I knew it was coming up. I didn't know it was.
Clearly, you don't fucking read it.
And then, of course, don't forget Dolans Bar. Real quick, they have some great things coming up here.
You're trying out the new puppet act tonight at the Dolan's Open Mic Night, eh?
Yeah, you know it. There's no better place than Dolan's Open Mic Night. Hey, it's getting started there. Nicky's here.
Yeah, hey, all right.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Nicky,
Nicky, yeah, come on, yeah. Open mic night,
Open
yeah.
that mic, yeah.
Guys, it is open mic night. If you feel like doing something, please come on up. You can play guitar, sing, tell a joke, play. If you want to do karaoke, I can set you up with that. Whatever you want to do. I want to play a few, play some music for you in between. Let me know.
We're going to be playing every Thursday from 9 o'clock to 11:30. Usually go till 12 because we're idiots, like we always will be. Come on up if you want to try out your stuff, and hope you like it.
So, Al, flash that where they can donate to again.
All right.
And there's also
You want me to flash real quick?
I'll flash for donations.
Yeah, I'll drop trail.
I am a grower, not a shower, but I'll grow.
If you guys are looking for Holbrook, he'll be giving handies for donations.
Yeah. Would be the first time.
Handies for handouts.
There you go. That could be our new thing that we do sometime mid Delco Day. Like we have like Christmas in July.
Yeah.
What would be Delco Day? Delco Day in December.
Yeah, we're still looking for sponsors, right?
Yeah, sponsors. Hey guys, you have a chance still to sponsor. You can pledge right here. You can sponsor right here. Whatever you want to
ain't
do.
getting on the shirts, but you'll get everywhere else.
I can try if you get it in the next 24 hours. I'll try to get you banners together.
We can get.
Let's real quick, guys. Let's just.
I'll get your thing temporary tattooed on my ass, and rock it all day Delco Day. I don't.
Yes, it is 1 year today. You're absolutely right.
Yes. I pay attention to our
Happy
sponsors
birthday,
now.
Fat Cow.
But so real quick, guys, for those who are joining us, so Delco Day, what we've been doing now, we're on number 7. This is going to be the most legit day.
Delco Day 7, the 6th one.
We are going to be at Marty McGee's in Prospect Park, 1110 Lincoln Avenue, for exact on 420 if you're from the Delco area.
No, it's not, Al. It's on Kedron Avenue.
Which is 420.
Which is Wanamaker Avenue.
Which is 420. Are you done? So it's from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. It is going to be bands galore. What we have? How many do we have now?
15.
Maybe 14. You never know how the day plays out. But there is going to be, and then there's going to be a lot of other things set up. There's going
Hell, if it goes down to 14, it quickly goes up to 16.
There you go. But it's going to be a great time. Jeff, you've been there at Delco Day. You know it's a crazy day. We get that many Delconians in one area, and there's not 12 arrests, is beyond amazing. I mean, right there alone is a miracle. That many people, that many Delconians in one area.
Chief Madonna in Prospect Park.
Yeah,
He,
he keeps a
yeah,
tight ship.
He does run a tight
Tight ship. I mean, maybe you'll see him there. You can come meet the chief.
Marty McGee's a great place to have it too. It's great. I love the back, the new deck that they have.
Yeah, that's right. So if you haven't been there a little while, they put the deck on. They have there'll be 3 stages, 2 outside, 1 inside. The inside stages start around 10?
10 a night, yeah.
Yeah, 10 a night.
Yeah.
But there is a bar upstairs, a bar downstairs, bars outside, bars underneath the bar.
There's a bar in the bar.
There's a bar in the
There'll
bar.
be bars. You'll get a drink.
Yeah. Uber over because it's usually pretty close from area. And if you want to go to a Phillies game that day for some reason at this point and watch that Drek, yeah, you can actually just Uber right from Citizens Bank Park.
How shallow and pedantic. Why would I waste my time at a Phillies game on the
Yes,
end of June?
shallow and pedantic.
Or you could take the regional rail to get off the train right there.
You could take a helicopter and crash it gently into a bush around there.
You could ride on the back of a bear.
You could ride a bear here. You can bring your Upper Darby iguana if you lost one.
Yeah, I saw that. Real quick, so a little scheduling change here. So at 8:30, we're going to talk to Nate Prive. Am I saying it right? Prive.
It's Privy.
From Foley, Alabama. So we're going to a guy who literally is
All time.
literally out of the area who came in. And then
we spelled that wrong. It's actually Aston.
It's Aston.
Foley Avenue and Aston.
Oh, Foley Avenue. Yeah.
Same thing though. Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide. Doesn't make much of a difference. So we'll hear from him at 8:30, and at 8:45 we're going to talk to Freddie Burns' father, because this is for young Freddie, but we're going to talk to him and kind of get to
FB3.
We're getting guys who have been there, guys who've worked there and been there, and guys who are currently being treated there. And now you're going to get a guy who's literally in the midst of it, dealing with it. And so we'll be talking to him about 8:45. So I just want to give you guys a little scheduling change, but that's about it.
I worked there. Did you know I worked there?
What's that?
At the original headquarters.
Oh yeah, Holmes.
Put the tile in.
Oh yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wait. The Italian guy put the tile in? Wow, real stretch of the imagination there.
Talk about stereotyping.
Yeah.
Use that bathroom every day.
I assisted my pop. My pop was.
Next thing you know, we did the concrete and the wrought iron work too while he was at it. You know,
the Irish guys did the cement.
Yeah. What was that?
I said the Irish guys did the cement.
The cement.
Yeah.
So Jeff, real quick, while we have about 12 minutes or so. So like we talked about you earlier, we got a little cut off. You've been how long now have you been working with Headstrong?
October it'll be 5 years.
5 years, and
that's almost 6 years.
And here's the funny part: for the most portion of the time he's been there, he's worked with this group of monstrosities.
Every June it kicked off my summer.
Is the real reason you started working with Headstrong because of Delco Day?
I heard about this awesome event at Marty McGee's.
Yeah.
Gotta get involved with that.
He went to the show. He goes, "You're gonna hire me because I'm gonna bring in these sacks of whatever you want to call us, and it's gonna be amazing." No, it's
you know those guys run around with brackets about what the most Delco town and Delco bar is. Well, we're bring them in.
Jeff,
honestly,
Jeff,
we are Delco. Like
Oh,
Cheryl might be one of the most Delco-ist people I know.
that's you were right the first time.
Yeah,
Delco-ist persons.
And like, we're headquartered in Green Ave and Holmes. I mean, can't get any more Delco.
I'm saying that, and I grew up right around the corner from it, and on the other side from the Calories. And the best thing that Holmes ever had was the McDade Mall until Headstrong came along, right?
Yeah.
So, and you do a great job with them. So
thank you.
You should be applauded too, my man.
Well, it's like it's more than a job for us because we all have been impacted by cancer, and like I said earlier, and so you don't do these kind of jobs unless like you're really in you're in it.
Yeah.
And I know what it's like to be. I get to work with a lot of student athletes. Because a lot of our fundraising is done through like college and high school student athletes. We probably raise upwards of $2 million a year. With kids like high school, college age athletes pledging their their sport or doing something within their sport to raise money, because that's what Nick was. He was a student athlete, and we have that mechanism of resonating with that age group. And that's who I was at 18 years old, you know. And so like I really enjoy working with that age group to kind of make an impact for others. And you know, it's great to get up to go to work every morning.
That's awesome.
You know, so.
Oh my God,
Very
you,
cool.
you like your job? What's that like?
I think that's what he was just saying.
They always say, you know, when you say you get to instead of you have to. I'm
No,
fortunate
I
to
only
say
know I have to.
get
and I
to.
have to.
Yeah.
He has to pay off his credit card debt.
So Capital One.
So on right now on the stream I threw up here from Anthony Ritz, Tile Talk. I love it because speaking of, he is one of the donators to Delco Day. You got the Three Brothers Tile. You can check them out 610-809-9542. And you'll see there'll be one of the stages, so you can see their sign real big, the Three Brothers Tile stages. So thank you. That's one of the many sponsors so far, and there's still spots for you out there. If you want to, you can donate tonight, or you can donate whenever. But if you want to have a sign, get to know sooner than later. I'm not going to get the crayons out and start coloring up a sign for you.
No hoagie joints with Three Brothers style.
And since we're talking about, don't forget, returning sponsor Wolf's Superior Sandwiches, 4417 Pennell Road in Aston. Check them out, wolfsuperior-sandwiches.com.
They also do the tacos at Dolans.
And this is just Delco for you, because you know what? We might be at a bar called Marty McGee's, but it doesn't stop other bars like Kosh's Bar and Grill right there in Essington to sponsor an amazing event. So
teammates in the fight, right?
Yeah.
We're all teammates here.
No, they didn't even flinch. They're just like, who do we write it out to?
Unreal.
And here's another one.
Love them.
This is Arnie's Army, remembering Arnie Dyson from 1953 to 1990. So like, that's just an amazing way just to show love for somebody by giving out a donation. So if that's how you want to do it, do it.
How about our boys? I can't forget it.
Protree. I forgot to put theirs up there. Hold on one second.
These guys, I use them. My buddy.
Actually, their sign just came in.
My buddy Richie is a I don't know, sales over there or whatever. He took care of me. Them guys came. They dominated my tree. Clean. I didn't even know they were there. You couldn't even tell. They cleaned everything.
They dominated his tree.
They dominated my tree. It needed some domination.
Not a limb left.
They tore it up.
Sorry, it's just the way it came out. It just didn't say. Yeah, let us dominate your tree.
They do. They dominate, bro.
You're right.
Let us feel your tree from the inside and make it hate itself.
They come to your house, they start lifting weights, assert dominance, and
Yeah.
then they cut your tree down.
I was gonna say, like, they belittle the tree as they cut it down just to make sure that tree does not come back.
Spits on its own scum as it's going down.
So my tree was close to the house, so the guy had to climb in, and like I look at and I just see some guy like zipping down like Spider-Man around. But they everything was clean. Nothing came close to the house. It was a fantastic price. I had like 3 quotes. It was the best one. And they work clean.
Yeah, they are amazing. And like I said, it's not. And hey, listen, if you're not even from the Delco area, you can sign up for it. Like, you can get yourself in here. You can get a sign out there that says, "Hey, Delco, we are available." Isn't. It might be Delco Day, but you can get your name out there here in Delco.
So for real quick, just for him, it's tough. It's tough with everything that's going on with the inflation, and it's tough on people's pocketbooks and everything. But these guys stepped up.
It's real.
These guys, coaches, Protree, Three Brothers, well, they all stepped up, and they were like, no doubt. And they when they heard about what it's for, there was no issues. So I mean,
they didn't flinch, and that's what's pretty amazing.
Yeah, some of these phone calls were just like, I'm just like, here's the things. What can we help you for? And they're like, give us the max. Like, oh, all right.
It's funny, like they're just like, sure, why not?
Yeah. Because probably, like you were saying, everybody is touched by cancer. You know what I mean? In some way or form.
I think there's like 2 million people a year get diagnosed with cancer in the United States, and 600,000 people pass away from cancer in a year in the United States. So like, somebody. Yeah, it might not be your direct family member, it might be your neighbor or classmate or coworker. You're touched by cancer, or you're going to be in your lifetime. So And little things like Chris was talking about earlier. It was like a little mole on his ear. Turns into he's got to get like 28 lymph nodes removed from his neck, and he's out of work for weeks. And he's got bills of $55,000, $13,000.
And he's us too. He said, when you're younger and you're out in the sun, you don't care. You're not thinking about.
Oh God, no! I have not taken any precautions to prevent anything.
Yeah, you're not the guy I look and say, precautions.
Yeah.
Here's a guy that plays it safe.
Shockingly, I've made terrible life choices.
Let me put some copper tone on my nose before I slug these 15 twisted teeth.
Skin is probably the last organ I've offended.
But so my mom had melanoma, and it just when he said that, like I have some shit on me that like I gotta go.
Yeah, we got
check
shit on you too.
If anything like makes you go get checked, it gets checked.
That's what I'm saying, man. And it's these stories are really powerful, man. I didn't expect it.
And it's crazy, like how fast, like Jerry was talking about, like literally 48 hours, 24 hours. He's like getting, like they don't mess around when they know it's cancer. They get you started right away because there's no time to waste. In some of these cases.
So time is of the essence, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's you can pretty much get cancer anywhere. I mean, that's the thing is people don't understand. Like, you hear the brain cancer and skin cancer and breast cancer, those ones a lot. And then, but it's just anything and anywhere at any time. And this guy under the tongue, you know what I mean? Like it's just something you don't hear about, and it's just a crazy situation. And then it does scare you. I mean, it should scare you to be more, even though we make fun of Holbrook right now, to be more cautious about things. Like it does not care who you are, where you're from, what you do. It's relentless, and it will come. If it wants you, it'll get you. And then you got a strong team like Headstrong behind you to help you fight. So that's amazing.
And anything weird that like is going on, like physically, you should keep, look into those signs. I hear all the time when people say like, "Oh, I saw this lump on my neck. I just thought it would go away."
Yeah.
Or like, I was bleeding when I went to the bathroom. It's just gonna go away. No, like if that's happening, you gotta go get checked out.
And I know, like my wife's watching right now, so I know this is happening. Because how many times she's probably told me like, "Go get something checked out," or "You're having a problem." Stop. That would have been me. I would have been the same guy saying, "I'll be fine. I'll be fine."
Really, Al? I sprained my ankle, and 38 minutes later, I was calling a doctor and in the doctor's office.
Unfortunately, you didn't get the doctor.
Unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to any of it. I need to go back, Al.
Yeah, well, there's another shock in all right there.
Boy, those 3 days where I paid attention to that doctor's diagnosis was great.
Yeah.
But no, timestamp that. Literally,
Al, you did pay attention. I'll give you that much.
Paid attention.
Did you listen?
For a while.
Different story.
Are wood cancers are like non-detectable? Like is melanoma detectable from like a blood test, or do you have to get something biopsied?
I mean, like I think it's just you get things checked. Like he was mentioning like a punch test. Like I actually
biopsy.
I'm looking at my arm right now. I've gotten it done before because I got a lot of moles on me just from being Irish.
What's a punch biopsy?
They
literally take a little. They take this like hole puncher thing and they like puncture your skin and
they take a piece of it.
They take a slice of it and then they test it and they say like, "Oh, that mole's not looking good," or
it's got the rigid edges.
Yeah,
that's the bad sign.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, wow. And you're
my wife is listening.
Well,
yeah, good.
Well,
she doesn't even. She's just telling me like generally, go get checked.
Dawn, they're he's turning 40, and 40 is when you got to get your colon checked.
I pay extra for that.
Get
so
your colon. Check his colon, Dawn.
We call that the Bonner Tuesday.
Oh, seriously?
Why do you think my middle name's Colin? Al?
They knew. They knew.
Timestamp it. Al literally he mocked me for saying I'm going to start taking better care of myself. What an asshole.
I don't know if your body could handle taking care of itself at this point. At this point, your body's just like, just keep on the track. We'll keep everything even.
You lost me at track.
I didn't say to run track. Trains run on tracks too, pal.
That's right, Colleen. Colleen knows.
Colleen knows.
Share it out.
Colleen's great. She shares all of our shit and like I'm cursing. Colleen shares all of our shit, and she's just such a supportive person. I love it.
So there,
easy to share. Easy to share.
It's so easy
Yeah.
to share.
yeah. I mean,
This content is.
we're yeah,
Some of our other content.
bunch of lovable characters that we are.
If there's a cartoon, do not share it at work.
All right, we got a phone call here, boys.
Prove it. Hello, caller.
Hey,
Are
this
you
is-
calling from
this
the
is Nathan Fry. I was supposed to call in at 7:30. I think I'm a little bit late. I'm sorry.
Nope.
It's a-
No, you're on.
You're
You're,
right
right
on
on
time.
time.
You're right on time, brother.
You are Nathan. You said Nathan, right?
Yeah, or
Fry.
Nate. Yeah, I'm the
Nate.
father of Teddy or Theodore.
Okay. And you are from Foley, Alabama?
Correct. Yeah.
Are
all the way
you-
down south?
Are you Auburn or are you Roll Tide?
I'm from Mississippi originally, so I would have to kind of say I'm an Old Miss fan if I were
Okay.
going to
Fletcher
pick
Cox,
a college
Fletcher Cox.
team. You know?
Fletcher Cox and Dak Prescott, right?
Say that one more
Nice.
time.
Miss Dex, weren't they Mississippi State?
Yeah,
Oh, Mississippi State.
yeah.
sorry,
Dak wasn't.
Fletcher wasn't on
Fletch
Oh,
was.
That was Eli Manning.
Sorry, that's what you start studying colleges. We start
Yeah.
getting. Well, what Eagle played for that college?
Yeah,
That's how we relate.
that's how we really know the SEC.
Well, actually, if he was an Alabama guy, he'd be great right now because apparently Howie Roseman found out Alabama has a good school.
Oh wow, one of the
You know,
odds.
who would have thought?
Does he not have like
You know,
cable
the-
the second Monday of every January?
The thing with Alabama is I always tell people, their colors are red and white because it's usually only rednecks and white trash who are Bama fans. So,
Well, you're talking to three out of the four up here.
we have
and Nebraska, the N on Nebraska stands for knowledge. Right?
Spash, you're a good graphic designer. Can you make a shirt that says Aston as the Alabama logo?
I sure do.
All right, good. I think we just made a couple more dollars for this event. So, Nate, Prive, not Privy.
yeah. Yeah, well, it's French, so it's technically Privy or
I
Privé, but
was
we're in South Alabama. We just say Prive.
There you
Keep
go.
it simple.
Roll Prive.
Don't let him feel like he's right.
So,
please.
Nate, it says here your son Teddy and a family stayed at Nick's house in beautiful Delaware County, Pennsylvania.
Yes, we did.
When
It's,
did this happen?
Yeah, so you kind of want me to just start from the beginning with Teddy's diagnosis and kind of how that mapped out?
Start from day one.
All right. So, me and my wife decided it was time to have kids. We have our firstborn, Teddy, perfectly healthy, literally born on his due date.
When?
Everything was, which would have been April 9th of 2017.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
So he was born on his due date. Everything was completely fine. Weighed normal weight. Looked like a completely healthy baby. And overall, he was a healthy, happy kid. Like it was hitting normal milestones and things like that. And then at about 4 months, we started noticing some bruising on the lower portion of his legs. She picked him up from daycare one day, and he had some slight bruising happening. And we're like, immediately we think like, is some abuse happening? Like we're kind of cautious, but we also knew the woman who ran the daycare there. She was very reputable. She's been in business for 30 years in the area. Phenomenal. And so we kind of was like, that's probably not the case. And then the bruising started kind of progress a little bit more. And so my wife made an appointment for the pediatrician, and she was at work that day, and I work a retail schedule, so I was off. It was the middle of the week. So I take him, and the pediatrician, she tries to write it off, like, hey, baby's bruise easy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he's 4.5 months old. He's not crawling. He's not all over the place. Like, he shouldn't be having bruising like this. And I was like, can we just run some blood work just to see if he has like an iron deficiency or something? She's like, yeah, we could do that. So she did it, and I'm waiting in there forever. And I tell you, she opened that door, and when she walked in, I could just see on her face something was wrong. And she's like, okay, you need to sit down. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And she's like, his white count is 113,000. I'm pretty sure he has leukemia.
Wow.
And
God bless you for just pushing that too, by the way. Like a lot of people wouldn't do that. Some people would get that easy answer and like, all right, cool.
All I knew in my mind was my wife sent me here because she knows something's not right. And I'm going. I got to figure something out. Like, I got to make sure all my T's are crossed, all my I's are dotted. Like, I just got to make sure everything's right here. Cause she just knew something's not quite right. And, and even I kind of suspected, but it was nothing super prominent. Like, I mean, he still was smiling and happy. I have a video from the night before where he's giggling and laughing, and, he still seemed like a healthy, normal kid. And man, it just progressed. I mean, it was so rapid. That night, that was August 30th of 2017. And on that night, that afternoon, we showed up at Women's and Children's Hospital in Mobile, Alabama. And we went inpatient, and we were inpatient for 227 days consecutively, 7.5 months. And he left the hospital 4 days after his first birthday, April 13th of 2018.
Wow.
And, he was doing great. We were on, he was in remission. We were doing standard, like, at-home therapy, chemotherapy orally and stuff like that we were administering. And then he would go in, bi-weekly or weekly based on the roadmap that we were following from Children's Oncology Group, which was actually, that actual roadmap was birthed out of Children's Hospital in Philly. And so we're going over that. And then we started to see labs, his count start to drop towards Christmas time or so of 18. And then going into January of 19, it was confirmed that he had relapsed. And from there, I mean, of course, it's just, second worst day of your life, punches you in the gut, because here you are, you're steamrolling through it. You're like, man, we're trucking through this. We're beating odds. We're doing our thing, because, his case was really rare. I mean, there's only 150 documented cases per year of his diagnosis.
Oh, wow.
It's extremely rare, very aggressive form of leukemia. And, we kind of knew, I kind of knew the statistics. I knew there was a high risk of relapse, and I'd kind of done my homework already. And we knew another boy from our area. We actually two, one of which unfortunately has passed away. But another one who had gone to Children's Hospital of Philly, where St. Jude actually sent him there because St. Jude couldn't achieve remission on him. And so I always knew in the back of my mind, hey, if something happens, if a relapse occurs, that's where we're going. If that's a place St. Jude is sending people, we're going to Philly. So, and a lot of people in our area didn't understand that. Why wouldn't you just stay local? Why wouldn't you do this? Why would you do that? And we just knew, hey, we needed to get where we felt was right. It actually happened the weekend of Martin Luther King Jr. And it was crazy to us because here we are, we're reaching out to multiple hospitals. We reached out to Children's Hospital in Philly, Seattle, Texas Children's, a multitude, all the top 5-10 hospitals. And it was crazy to me that on a weekend like that, they're like shut down. There's like no one in the offices. They're not like, oh, there won't be anyone here till Tuesday to, do, transfers and this and that. And we're thinking, man, this is freaking insane. And for us, that was kind of a blessing in disguise. It had gotten delayed so long, and our doctors were like, hey, we need to start something. We need to introduce a med. We need to do some type of chemo. We need to do this. And I was like, no, we're not. I was like, I understand what's going on. Let's continue to do transfusions, blood and platelets as needed. And I want to make sure that we don't interfere with any potential opportunities we may have for a clinical trial or for something like that. And so when the door opened at Children's Hospital in Philly, the next issue we had was, where do we go? Where do we live? How do we not lose everything we own? We had just bought our house a month before Teddy was diagnosed. So we still had boxes packed up. Like we just weren't settled in. We were a young new family. We were just now starting off. And we're thinking like, ultimately, if we did lose everything, excuse my French, who the hell cares? I mean, it's like things don't matter. Our child's life does. And
Absolutely.
So that's kind of where we had gotten to the point of, it doesn't matter what it takes, but we still had to figure it out. Where are we going to live? What are we going to do? And, Ronald McDonald House didn't have an opening for us. And we had only experienced them locally here in Mobile. And so we didn't, we're like, what do we do next? And so I believe it was our social worker at our hospital there in Mobile. And she was incredible. I mean, she hunted down all kind of crazy stuff for us to accommodate getting there. And we connected with Cheryl And I mean, it was like seamless. I mean, she was like, "Come on, we got a spot for you. Get here, do whatever you got to do." And we ended up at Nick's house, and even that, I mean, I'll just say we've, we're praying people, and we did a lot of praying and a lot of like just with faith, like, man, open these doors for us, like whatever it takes. We understand that these medical advancements are here for our benefit and for us to, to recover and heal through these things, but we didn't know how those doors were going to open. And so it was just, everything worked out just right. It was seamless. I mean, with Cheryl opening the door for us at Nick's house, with the flight, we had a private company actually fly us on a Learjet, a Medic Learjet, on a $382,000 flight, and they gave it to us for free.
Wow.
Just thing after thing opened up for us, and here we are now. Teddy just had his 5th birthday.
Awesome.
He's almost 5.5 now. We're coming up on, August will be the 5-year anniversary of his diagnosis. And statistically, he's thriving. I mean, comparatively to what the rates were on this diagnosis 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And had it not been for Cheryl opening that door for us, I literally don't know. I mean, I don't know how we would have facilitated it, how we would have lived there. I mean, we'd be living in a hospital room, maybe the 3 of us just cram packed in a small little hospital room at Children's Hospital, trying to figure it out. But, we're just so grateful. We're to meet people like Cheryl and the whole team over at Headstrong Foundation, and to have those people in our lives and have opportunities to be able to do stuff like this too, and tell people how incredible it is. It's just, for us, it's rewarding. There's still a lot of pain there. There's still a lot of anxiety and a lot of stuff that clouds over us, but things like this also help bring in some healing and help us to understand that, maybe through these opportunities, we can encourage other people to kind of just rally behind the cause and the mission here,
That's awesome. How long were you at the Headstrong house?
Headstrong, gosh, I mean, we got there and Teddy actually qualified. I was saying how it was a blessing in disguise was, with the delayed on us getting a transfer, his counts actually just started, like his blood counts started to recover on their own. We don't really know how, we don't really know what happened, but his red count started to come up, which actually opened an opportunity for us to go through a clinical trial at Children's Hospital for T-cell therapy, which was, it's pretty revolutionary and cutting edge. And we were able to do that. And that's actually what thrust him into remission. He's been in remission now for about 3 years and 2 months. And so we were we were probably there, I don't know, 2 months.
Oh, wow.
It was because in total, it might've been longer than that. In total, in the start of 2019, we lived in Philly. We got there January 25th. It was mine and my wife's anniversary, January 25th of 19. And I think we left, it was mid-May. So we were there for several months, and then we did transition over to the Ronald McDonald House in town because it was so close. It was in walking distance and things like that, to the hospital. And because he was going through that clinical trial and, be closely monitored, it was a little bit closer for us to be right there. And so we did transition over there towards the end of it. But yeah, we were there for several weeks, and it was awesome. We built some really cool relationships. I mean, I'm Facebook friends and connected with on a texting basis with the other families that were there, survivors, people who are thriving. Unfortunately, there's also people who didn't, but we have, great relationships with their spouses and their other family members, and we still keep in touch, and we've got lifelong connections there. And the culture that's fostered in that house is so different than what, when we were at Ronald McDonald House, it was cool because it's kind of like an apartment, you got your own little space, but it doesn't really push for like community and for other people who are in the same situation to kind of be forced to live a little bit with each other and cook meals together and live life and like carry each other through it. And that was the really cool thing about Nick's house. This is a beautiful home. I mean, you're living in a mansion. It's a pretty awesome house. and you're living there with other people, and you're doing life, and you're encouraging each other. I mean, the cries we had together with other families, and the prayers we had, and the hugs, and it's something that just, it does something to your heart, and I don't know, it gives you hope, and hope is really, really, really important to a battle like this.
That is, yeah, chills. To be honest with you.
I think Chris needs to name his daughter Hope.
I think, like honestly.
Yeah.
Nate, we were just talking. Nate, this
Like,
is Jeff. We were just
honestly.
talking with another Headstrong hero, and he was trying to decide what he wanted to name his daughter, and Hope was one of the names. And
I think it's very fitting after this day.
It's pretty fitting. I mean, maybe that's a sign,
Yeah. No,
a lot of signs flying around recently.
I do remember when the Pravs were at Nick's house, we actually celebrated Teddy's birthday.
Oh, really?
In the basement, and we had him play with a little cake.
That basement's awesome.
Yeah, we had a cake for him, and it was really
Yeah.
cool. Really cool.
All right. Well, I mean, Nate, I mean, the story's amazing, and like I said to somebody earlier, it's these kind of stories that hopefully get people to help keep Headstrong chugging along and doing what they do. As I say, every time we get closer to Delco Day, because we get because it goes to Headstrong or families being helped by Headstrong, I learn more. I get closer to them. Like I said, it is an amazing stories that we've heard so far, and each one just keeps getting more amazing in its own right. And especially when young children, it really just does hit home to us. So I'm glad that everything seems to go. It seems to be going the right way for you guys. And like I told the other callers, Headstrong's here. Delco Live is here to help Headstrong, and hopefully people who are listening heard your story and they're reaching in their pockets right now just to keep it chugging along.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this and sacrificing your time to rally behind something like this too. It really means a lot to families like us. I mean, you're literally changing lives by doing stuff like that, and it means a lot, honestly.
All right. Well, Nate, we appreciate the time and thank you, man.
Give our best to Teddy.
Yeah, tell little Teddy we said hi.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Y'all
All right.
have a good night.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I go.
You know what? You know what? What was said earlier, how he pushed for it, that is huge. I kind of just
being an advocate for your child is like it goes all the time. We hear it all the time. I had to change hospitals. I had to change doctors. I believed in this course rather than that course.
Right?
And like, you got to go with your gut. You got to follow your instinct, and you got to follow what is best for your kid.
That, and just even with just getting something done, getting a test done, like just knowing something's wrong and going to the doctor. I don't want to say they're poo-pooing it, but like, it's crazy because these people, I think about these pediatricians, they see people all the time, right? They're probably crazy parents, think every little thing. But
yeah, I mean, you're gonna see
Munchausen by proxy.
Right.
Yeah, listen, I deal in the medical field. There's some people who press some crazy things, but I don't get mad at when somebody presses like, "Hey, can we dig a little deeper? Can we do a little?" Like, I actually get upset with the people. I know too many people sit there and go, "Okay, well, you're the doctor."
That's what I'm saying. What if he would have just said, "Okay, well,
Oh, his story is completely different.
They said kids got sick. They get sick. No, they
Yeah.
knew because as a parent, something's wrong.
Yeah.
You really got to.
You do know, and especially like not that the fathers don't, but mothers don't. My wife chimed in here. You need to be your own advocate earlier on, and she's an advocate. Like, and like kind of like what Nate said. Like, his wife knew something wasn't right, and then he could see it too. You do that. Like, I mean, I know like it's kind of like this weird sixth sense, parent sense, whatever you want to call it. But you do have those moments where you're like, that's just not him or her. That's just something's not stirring the Kool-Aid. Like, it's not right. So like
the phrase.
It's a phrase. All right.
Yeah, 1950.
I'll make some phrases sometimes.
1990 phrase. That was a 90s
say
phrase.
early
Drek.
I mean,
Drek. Mishmash.
Sorry, I read a book before, boys.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. It was a comic book. But it was a comic book, but it was a book. All right.
Fair enough.
So it was a book nonetheless. So Freddie will be calling in just a moment. So we're going to be hearing about Freddie the Fourth, little Freddie, their fight, and where they've gotten so to this point. Because I know it started just this year, early late December, early January when everything started, happening for them. So we'll hear it from Freddie, let him tell the story, and how it hits home. Freddie's a friend of all of ours, and I've worked with him at Edge of Philly Sports now for almost 3 years. And like I said to Jeff, as soon as we started doing Delco Day, I said I never thought I would have to ask you to help me or help a friend, but Jeff didn't blink an eye. Jeff's like, all right, hold on, let me see what I can do. Like crack his fingers. I'm in there. I got it. So the stories are great and amazing. I'm sure there's not always every story doesn't always end like Disney stories, but
sometimes they do, Al.
They do.
Sometimes they fucking do.
Yeah, and the fact that you could give this many, like Headstrong can give this many chances, like the ability, because like we said, this guy could have just said, "Okay, doc, you're the doc. I'll see you later."
Yeah.
And like I said, and from a doctor standpoint, how often do these pediatricians see somebody with leukemia versus somebody with a head cold? It's easy to chalk it up to it's the high percentage. It's not that.
I gotta think too, Jeff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I gotta think that the stories that don't end well, at least when the family's there fighting, there's a little bit of comfort,
Yeah, I mean,
during the fight.
The thing is, they turned every stone over, every rock. They tried everything, just like you heard earlier from Cheryl when they were invited to go to NIH in Maryland. They went, right? Everything they could try, they tried. And to be honest, not everybody has the great story. And there's been people that we've lost that have stayed at Nick's house, and it's sad. But their family is comforted by knowing that they tried everything they could. Yeah, it's like we always relate things to sports.
Never
right?
left it all on the field, right?
Yeah, you leave it all on the field and you try. You make the plays all the way to the end,
Sir.
right? And we always say you got to make plays, and you're not going to win every game, and as long as you try everything you can to try and win. And
How many times have you had like somebody like become a volunteer, even though they didn't have that storybook ending that they were looking for, but like just saw what you guys could do, even though it didn't end exactly they were hoping, and like say, you know what, that was just amazing that they got us this far. Like how many times have you seen that happen a lot?
Yeah, I mean, like where the person doesn't
Doesn't make it, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's just as many don't make it than do, unfortunately, right? But it's not like they tried. Like a lot of people are coming to Philadelphia for proton beam therapy and immunotherapy, and so they don't offer that many places in the country. There's probably 5, and so
what's
so proton beam therapy is like a very highly targeted treatment for a tumor that's close to something very important, like a brain or a heart. Yeah, so they don't want to like damage that, so they target it.
All right, looks like we have a phone call here. Freddie B, is that you?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Hey,
and girls.
There's no ladies here tonight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's breaking stones now. What's up, buddy?
Normally I'd be breaking your guys' balls and joking right now, but I really appreciate all this, and I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but I'm very thankful for everything you guys are doing. I have certainly a new appreciation for it now that I'm on the other end of it. So just want to tell you that.
Oh, anything for you, brother.
Freddie, we've only met like a handful of times, and it was easy for us to jump on this, especially because it brings it back home. So tell us about you first off, because this is a Delco-A-Thon and it's Delco Live. Tell us about you and why we know you.
Well, I mean, I've been Delco my whole life, Collingdale.
Were you AP
for
or
about
Bonner?
18 years.
What'd you say? Where'd you go? Academy Park?
Bonner. I went to Collingdale and then I went to Bonner.
Hell yeah! I think you were.
So and then I went to grade school in BVM in Derby. So I got some Derby in me too. But
really
19023 is all the same.
Heard that, my bad ear.
So I grew up there, and then I went to Bonner. I came across paths with you guys. I'm surprised how I guess we never knew each other until I connected with Edge of Philly Sports.
Well, I was a degenerate alcoholic my whole life.
You were what?
a degenerate alcoholic most of my life.
Yeah,
Well, that's probably why we have something in common when we first met, because we could just relate immediately. Drinking
And
alcohol.
I like how
the
Holbrook
ultimate
used the term
unifier.
"was." I like this "was" thing. Go ahead.
There's out judging my substance abuse.
Go ahead, buddy.
Actually, I was trying not to drink this week, and then as soon as I had to pour seltzer, I just poured one. I couldn't resist. So I'm with you.
You got
alcohol gets you through the day sometimes, you know.
You better believe it.
Yeah, 2003 to now. No, you need to prime your stomach and your liver for the June 11th. You're going to be there on June 11th, right?
It's very, very likely. Looking very, very likely. So, barring anything insane, yes, and I'm very excited to be there. So, and my wife as well.
Awesome.
All right. So
we shall drink tequila and Natty Light until the morning.
So as I told the guys earlier, and I told the story leading up to your phone call, that I've worked. Was it 3 years now? We worked together with Edge of Philly Sports.
Yeah,
and like I said, that we're glad that somehow now what we've been doing over the years has crossed paths. Tell them like from the beginning, from the diagnoses, like soup to nuts, what from to today, what happened, and tell them little Freddie's story.
Yeah, definitely. So, my family's big into sports. We make it more like a family thing. So that's kind of where my timeline recognizes things, as weird as that might sound. So, September, everything was fine. We're doing our Eagle stuff on Sundays. And then I noticed on the Sundays during the game days, he was being like a little bitch, really. I'm not trying to be like rude, but it was like he went from like,
this is now a full
kid that
Delco
said-
interview.
this kid that said hi to everyone to like, he wouldn't say hi, and he was just being really weird. And I was like, they call it the terrible twos or whatever. So as a dad, I'm like, I'm not like, I might sound, I know you said bitch, but I'm not. I got to be a little tough on him, make sure he's tough, and that this is unacceptable. This type of behavior. So it was kind of like you're just being a dad and a mom, and as it progressed into like November, December, he was always complaining that his legs hurt. Like he won't walk up from the bus stop's literally like 3 houses for his sister,
And you made him run laps to toughen up.
And he would complain, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Walk up the hill," you know what I mean? So, we get into Halloween. He was carrying on about his costume and just not the normal. When we got the costume, he was so excited. It was just real. I don't want to say he wasn't bipolar, but it was that kind of thing. Like 1 minute, and then of course you just attribute that to being a 2-year-old.
Or from Delco.
Eating habits. What'd you say?
A 2-year-old or from Delco.
A 2-year-old from Delco, obviously. So, or raised by Delco.
Yeah.
So he then the eating habits started to change a little bit, but he was still eating. Again, people say that's what happened. So these are normal things that you just don't really, you're just kind of yelling at them. You don't want to eat your dinner, then you don't get your dessert. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Where like, you have to eat that. And like, literally, like we're not realizing it, but like we're taking calories away from a cancer that's eating his body away. That, it wasn't him. It was the cancer doing this. So, when we started getting into December, Christmas morning, he was awesome. He was himself again. It was really cool. So I'm like, cool. And it was an exciting morning, and he was so excited. But then like halfway through the toys, he like started to be a brat again. And it's like, oh man, why are you ruining it? Like, being a pain in the ass, as a 2-year-old. And so we had family over for Christmas, and his mom noticed, my wife's mother said, his lips look a little pale. And you see him day to day, like you don't really notice that stuff. And he had just drank some eggnog, no alcohol for him, eggnog with no alcohol. And
they make that?
So yeah, they do.
What, you got
so you gotta make your own. It's better when you make your own. But anyhow, so we that was like a little bit of a red flag. And he's always had issues like going to the bathroom. So like there was like little like laxatives he was using, like because he, not being gross, but he gets a lot of pain pushing it out. He would get backed up, and like that would just help soften it, like a stool softener type thing. So we didn't think nothing of it. We just kept going on, and we get closer to New Year's Day. It was. I went over to my friend's house to visit, and he was like shaking, starting to shake and stuff. And me and my wife are arguing over what it is, I'm like,
you know, I've taken laxatives before in my life for stuff, and like, you know, I know it dehydrates your body and all this shit. So I'm like trying to force, you know, water on him and shit. And she's, you know, we're going back, and I think it's dehydration. She thinks it's this. She thinks, well, we don't know what it is. So finally, we're like, you know, he starts complaining of stomach pain, and we say, all right, let's take him to the doctor. So we take him to CHOP Westchester, and because that's closest to us, and you know, we bring him in, and we show, you know, different things. He has like this little rash that we thought was from him like trying to push out like the poop or whatever that was straining his stomach. I don't know, all different things that you know, of course they test him for COVID and the flu and all the other stuff. And you know, when you talk to friends and stuff at that time, a stomach bug was going around. So we were still getting fluids in him. He was eating like freeze pop soup, and you know, so we're thinking along those lines, but we decided to get a blood test anyway. So within like a 5-day period, I would say we go to get the blood test. I forget what it's called when they, you know, I felt when we got the blood test, something was weird because he was fighting like a 2-year-old, and I felt like they didn't get enough blood, but they didn't really say it. And I just kind of was the guy, but I was like, you got what you need to do this test, right? They're like, yeah, we're good. So then we wait 24 hours, and by that time he's getting sicker and sicker. So, you know, they call us and they're like, we can't use that sample of blood. He has to come in again. And we're like, really? Like he hates, by mind you, he hates the friggin' doctor. But, and he's had surgeries before, like when he was born. So subconsciously he probably has a thing. So, you know, we're like, what do we have to bring him in today? Can he rest a day? Cause we're again leaning towards this stomach bug.
Yeah.
And so they're like, yeah, no problem. Just bring him in tomorrow. And within that 24-hour period, I just started to count his breathing. He was getting up to like 40 breaths per minute, which is the cutoff if you start Googling stuff. And I get to like, I don't know, 2 a.m. We call the hotline. They're like, you can bring him in now, or you can wait till the morning. And so we're like kind of torn, like, do we bring him in now? What do we do? You got the COVID concern and all that stuff of bringing the kid to the hospital and all that stuff that's going through your mind. And, you know, finally we're like, all right, we're taking him to DuPont. Let's go. And I go out to the car, and by the start, it's about 4 a.m. at this time. It's 3:34. By the time I get back in the house, his eyes had rolled to the back of his head, and he was basically unconscious. And so then we had to call 911. Worst parent nightmare ever. It was very surreal. Yeah, my infant. We have also at the time. What was he? 6 months at the time? No, he's like 4 months. He's laying on the floor because, like, not crying, just chilling. My daughter's in tears, and you know the cops come in, and you know, you do the whole call. I'm not going to detail the call, but the whole thing. They come in, they resuscitate him, and like he's breathing again, which is okay, all good. So we think, everything. I'm still thinking like, okay, he must have been dehydrated. They're going to go give him fluids. We're going to be good. And they think that too in the ambulance. So they're like, we're going to take him to the hospital. So they're like, just hang tight. Just mom can handle it. No big deal. You know what I mean? It'll be fine. So I'm taking my time, you know, going, getting like, mom goes in the ambulance. She's a nut, obviously going through it just like I am. And we, I get like Paw Patrol. I'm getting toys and shit, guys. Like you're thinking like I'm gonna walk into a hospital with him on an IV, and everything's good and we're cool. And I'm late. I even debated getting a shower and shit. That's how much I thought we were good. And so I pull up to and she calls me. She's like, "Where are you? Are you here yet?" I'm like, "Yeah." They said everything was fine when you left in the ambulance. She's like, "Get in here right now." And I get in, and he's basically on his deathbed. They're like hitting him with everything in his bone marrow. I have to sign a consent form right away to put the fucking thing in his throat to help him breathe because he needed that to have lung support. And, you know, and then they find like they won't tell us he's going to be okay. They're like, we can't answer that. And, you know, I've been through that with my father, which was surreal. It was almost like I was prepared for the moment in a sense, as weird as that sounds. So, you know, my wife had never been through anything like that in her life. And I'm just like, hey, be quiet. Just let them do their thing. We can't, even if they don't sound like they know what they're doing, you just have to let them go. Like, we're in this situation now. Just pray, just be, just whatever, you know? So, they get him going, that his numbers are good enough that they can get him to Nemours, DuPont. We get him there. And then, you guys will like this part of the story at least. So we get there and he's under control and the doctor comes to sit us down. And, I could tell by his like accent, like I'm getting Delco vibes from this guy, right? And but like like but it's like I'm not gonna bring that shit up right now, obviously, but I'm starting to feel comfortable. And then he's like, so where you he starts asking like Delco questions like, so where are you from and stuff like that. And I'm like, so he, he's like, I'm from my parents are from Cane, and he starts naming different streets. He was from other areas too, but he had some Delco ties. And it made me feel even more comfortable. And then he breaks the news to us that my son, he thinks anyway, he couldn't confirm it at the time, that my son has leukemia, and he came in with the lowest blood he's ever seen. So his blood at this point, when they like stabbed him or whatever, was pink. It was so diluted at this point. And I'm not going to get into all the details of leukemia because you guys wouldn't understand. But essentially, is the worst case he's ever seen. And so then we ask him, is there a path to life? And they say yes. So from there, he's in the PICU there. We go through, we're in there about 18, 19 days, 20 days in a row. Mind you, we have a 7-year-old. Her birthday was this weekend. The mom's birthday was this weekend. And then we have our, 4 or 5 month old at the time as well. With all that going on. Trying to go back and forth from the hospital, and then now the infant's out of whack and screams and cries every night when he was chill and relax, and it's just, a whole stressful thing. And then you don't know. There was a few days that they kept the thing in his throat, so you're like, with my dad, they told me it'll come out in a little bit, but it never came out. So you don't know. You're like, is it good? They're saying he's going to be fine, but is he going to be fine? But I can't be more thankful to Nemours Hospital in DuPont. They came through big time. He ended up having, ALL leukemia. We got out of there, 20 days in, and then started chemo and the treatments. From there, it's been, obviously I can't work. My wife wasn't working anyhow because the cost of childcare, superseded her working. There was a moot point. It was like we were washing money that way. It was like breaking even. So why would she work? So I was the only source of income. And I'm a commission guy. I do sales. Thank God my employer, at least they still pay me my draw, which is like, you gotta eventually earn that back. You know what I mean? It's not, but it's like, they could have just cut that all off. And obviously it's they're Delco guys, Darby guys that own that place, Risk Averse Insurance. And they, Bill Sprague, Mark Nilsson, they took care of me. And that's good that at least, kept us a little bit afloat, but it wasn't enough. Cause the way it works for me is, if I had to go get something, I work my ass off and I go do more sales. That wasn't an option. So, we're out of work. We're still going on now. And then we're going back and forth to the hospital with different treatments that, Freddie just, it's a whole, I don't want to go all into it because, not that you guys don't care, but it's just a long process. So we're still going through that process, chemo at home. Will he take it in his mouth? At one point he had to have, a tube down his throat that would give him the medicine because he would throw it up. And then then there was times he would throw that tube up and then you have to go back to the hospital. Anytime he gets a fever at any point, no matter what, it could be the common cold, which happened. You have to go to the hospital because it could be a bacterial infection because there's like a port in his chest. There's so many things that went through this process that to get to where we were. And then we get to about around, it was actually May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. He's such a fucking fighter too, man. It's like, he just picks up on things. Really is amazing. And, by the way, this is totally not about the story, but it's Delco related. I always sing, if we're, this is so weird. So like we moved to Westchester about a year or two, whatever it was ago. And, like we go back fairly often, very often. So, because I worked out here at the time, as it was why. And anytime I go back, I always go, we're going back to Delco. So this fucking kid starts singing that. It's the coolest thing. As he's starting to get better, I noticed this around May, right before we got the news. Why I can tell that side story. So anyhow, we get the call May 5th, the best news ever that. And the doctors, it was amazing that she would even call at 8:00 at night. She didn't have to do that. She's off her job. She's clocked out. Dr. Gresh there, and she called and she's like, "Hey, you still got time to pop start making those margaritas, your son's in remission. And it was a great. Let me backwards real quick. Also, for the first 30 days, the goal was to be in remission after the first 30 days. So he didn't. He still had cancer after the first 30 days. So that's why he went into high risk, which made this even more of a process. Anyhow, we get to May. They give us the news. It's the greatest news ever, and we're so excited. And like I'm in tears and all. And he's like, "Oh, I don't have to go to the doctors anymore." And it's like, "Well, no, you still do." So because to keep the cancer away, you have to continue the treatment. So, the treatment continues now. We're in the middle of what is a 4-day hospital admissions where he has to just get hit with chemo for 24 hours and then try to drain the chemo out of him. And then depending on what his numbers levels are, then you can leave the hospital. And then the whole time, you can stop or start treatment based on his immune system and where that's at. And, platelets are at a certain level, or his red or blood cells, all that stuff. So, we're very hopeful and excited to get through this part of it. And the goal is by, hopefully, November-ish, we're in like a maintenance mode where we're just, still going to the hospital weekly, but it's more just, make sure he's taking his medicine at home, but it's more of just a checkup thing and not this intense stuff that, I'm really stunned that this kid can handle this the way he does. He like knows what's going on. Like it's like he's so advanced. Like, are my numbers good enough? Can I go outside today? Can I play with kids today? Can I do this? His sister gets sick. We have to put her in a room because if he gets a fever, then we're in the hospital for 4 days. It's crazy. But we're fighting, and we got friends and family like you guys and Ed Philly and the whole Delco area, because Delco's fucking awesome. I remember what was it, maybe 10 years ago when it was like fucking your trash if it's in Delco, like that was a thing. Like
that's what pisses us off to start this shit, by the way.
And we're like, fuck that, you're down the shore. But then when you started to be down the shore, and like as a kid, you start hearing like people know what Delco is. Like, oh, you have that accent, you got that, and it starts to become a thing, and it's grown into this great thing, and now it's like a source of pride that's so fucking awesome. And like no matter where you live, like if you move out, you just know that's where you're from. Like I moved to Westchester, like a small house, like nothing crazy, but because I work out here, and this whole block knows what the fuck Delco is, because they're probably like, why the fuck you move out here if you love it so much? But it's just in the hospital. You identify Delco, and like there's the one nurse, they call her she was called Murder Dirter. She was doing that whole thing.
Perfect.
It's just perfect. Like I don't know. I'm rambling now, so sorry about that. But it's awesome. Just Delco's fucking amazing. You can't. It's a badge of honor. It always was. But like I just remember that at one point in time in my early 20s when it was like, oh, you're from there. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it was. But one thing, I had people come to me during your situation, because I mean your friends and family jumped on it right away with the meal train thing, which I didn't even know existed until that happened. It just everybody just jumped in, and then anytime.
Shout out to Gina if you're listening, Christy's friend Gina, she set that up.
Yep, and within minutes, I felt like within minutes, you guys were booked up through February, and people were donating, and it's. You could say what you want about Delco, and we have our issues at times, but when it comes down to it, don't mess with our own. You know what I mean? Like it's like
take care of each
other. Who the fuck don't have issues though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, some of us is more than others.
Like you said, are they 2 years old? Are they bipolar? I got to ask that question about myself every day.
Yeah. Delco,
I'm just emotional, and I'm from Lansdowne.
Yeah.
Delco is like the analogy of like. Me and my brother can kick the shit out of each other, but if somebody else tries to mess with my brother, forget it.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'm allowed to hit him, but you're not. Yeah.
We can sit there and go like, Marcus Hook sucks. Marcus Hook sucks. If someone from like Maryland says, yeah, Marcus Hook sucks, I'd be like, fight me right now.
Yeah, like I like Freddie. I played for Kedron, and whenever we played Collingdale, it was like we couldn't, we'd usually win, but like,
yeah, right.
No, but seriously, like it's a community, it's a whole county. It's going to come together, and we're all
Freddie. I mean, we saw that at your event, and then we're going to see it again at Delco Day. Those are the things that just They got you.
Freddie, an under the radar thing that I experienced. I kind of put it on Facebook on one of your posts, but I didn't. You said on Cinco de Mayo is when you learned that Freddie the Fourth is in remission, right?
Yes.
So on May 6th, my shitty band that is also playing at Delco-A had a show at the Grape Room in Manayunk. And we have a good plethora of songs, and one of the obscure ones is a cover of a Menzinger song called In Remission. And we decided to pull a swap because we had heard about it right as I was leaving for the fucking venue. And I said, we're cutting this song, we're putting this one in. We're like, why? And we're like, okay, perfect. And we announced it, and it was a good crowd. We're talking to 100, 150 people crammed into that little place. And we told them a little backstory, and we said, this is why we're playing it. And everyone in that place went absolutely bonkers for like 3 fucking minutes, even though they didn't know the song. They just loved the story. And then afterwards, all 5 other bands asked to be on Delco-A. And when I said it's already full, but you can be audibles, they all said we will do our best to show up.
That's so fucking awesome. And you commented on the thing, and just anyone listening who's a friend or family, I can't get back to everyone because I like all those comments, all the fucking things everyone tells you, like that helps you so much. Like when you're on the other side, like I remember when I was on like the side of people that didn't get leukemia, I donate my 50, and you send your text. Everyone does that, and that's the way it should be. But like on the other end of it, like it means a fucking lot. Like it means so much to just not even the money, like just the support and the text. So when you texted that and you wrote that on there, I told my wife, and we were just so appreciative. Like thank you for doing that. But even so, just so awesome that like people just like we're in the negative world now. It feels like everywhere, but it's not fucking as negative as you fucking think. I think people genuinely deep down are fucking good. And when shit happens, they do good things, and I'm just thank you. That's awesome. You did that. That's pretty cool.
Right on, right on.
All right, Fred. I appreciate your time tonight. I didn't want to keep you on too long, but so guys, for Delco Day, as we said, it's at Marty McGee's, 2 to 2, with Headstrong, and Freddie Burns, the fourth picture of this cute kid. It looks like it's gotta be looking like his mom. I can't be Freddie up there. So yeah, listen. I know I got emotional when you sent me that message. Joe Sheeran, our other partner over there at EOP, got very emotional when we got the message. So we're as you know, we're rooting for you, and buddy, I hope to see you then.
Sure. Hopefully I can fucking chug beers and shit.
You're going to be there, right?
Can you do keg stands at this thing? Or
yeah,
I haven't done a keg
That's actually
stand
how you
either.
have to get in. You have to pay your $6 to do a keg stand.
You sure can now.
Yeah.
Joe McGee, you're listening.
Yeah.
Let's get it for 61 seconds.
But Fred, thanks,
My
man.
wife will fucking kill me. But all right. See you guys.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
All right, Freddie.
It's the most Delco interview right there.
So that I didn't know them.
Yeah. No,
I know, is that epic? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I honestly I learned a little extra there too, but I maybe knew half of more than you guys knew, and it's like he said, I don't like we heard from Nate earlier, and now from anybody with a kid, you hear these things, and it's just ugh, but not to any human being, but yeah, especially with kids, it just hits harder, I should say. I think we might have time. We have a phone call right here. Let me just. There we go. And we are on a line with Joe Clifford.
Hi, Joe.
Honor guy.
Oh,
Joe.
love it.
Hey, God, back-to-back honor guy.
You know it.
Yeah, I gotta have to get a shower after this.
I smell P-O-N-N-E-R.
That guy. I'm like, what was his last name? Freddie
Burns.
What was his last name?
Like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, Burns.
Freddie Burns.
Yeah.
I'm asking my wife if she knows a Freddie Burns because she's a Prendi girl, of course.
Yes.
So you got to keep it, and all the best for that little guy. What a story! And I can't wait to make a donation for those guys.
Hell yeah! Joe Clifford, you are a board member and cancer survivor. Where are you from?
I'm from Delco. I grew up in Havertown.
There we go.
And I live in Springfield, Delaware County. Went to Annunciation and Bonner.
Yeah.
And now I'm here in Springfield.
Hell yeah. What
man.
What led you to cross paths with the Headstrong Foundation?
Well, it was obviously unforeseen circumstances. So 2008. I was doing the Phillies run.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys remember, I had season tickets.
How can I forget?
Yep.
And I was at the game that Victorino hit a grand slam.
You get CC Sabathia?
Oh, CC Sabathia, yeah.
After Brett Myers took an 18 pitch at bat?
Brett Myers, yeah. I was at that game. Yeah, man. At that game with my dad and my buddy, Freddie Kepper. Shout out to Franny. But yeah, we were at the game. We had a good time. Next day, I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, me neither.
I thought I was hungover. Wade thought I was hungover. Next day, still can't get out of bed.
Yeah, me neither.
Wade still thinks I'm. I had a good excuse. You didn't.
Yeah, I know. I had a great one. You ever done a rumple bomb?
Anyway, great game, and so then we had the next game was I had tickets, and I couldn't even go to the games, and then that's when my wife knew that something was wrong.
Yeah, right.
So I went to my doctor. He was like, I think you have mono.
Okay.
So he's like, we're gonna take some blood test, and we'll get back to you. Like 3 days later, he calls me, which is weird from the call. He says, he's like, you might want to sit down. He told me I had cancer. I had ALL, which is the same thing that I think little Freddie the Fourth has or had. Now he's in remission. I am too. So so I then he was a Crozier doctor from Drexel Hill Medical. And Crozier, is attached to a whole different set of hospitals. But even he was like, listen, I'm not even supposed to tell you this, but go to University of Pennsylvania Hospital and just go to the ER. So that's where I went and obviously checked in, and I was at the hospital. I spent about 5 months from October to December in the hospital, but it was actually probably early November when I found out that I was going to have to stay in the hospital for Thanksgiving, and I was really bummed. I love, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, watching football with my dad, drinking beers, and just my family. And, I didn't want to be there. I wanted to get out of there. But then I found out that the Headstrong Foundation, I didn't know what Headstrong was. My nurse was actually a family member. She's related somehow to Headstrong or knows Headstrong. Rachel May. She told me about it. And so anyway, she said, invite your whole family. So I ended up inviting my whole family, 23 people showed up at this Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, wow.
Irish Catholic family, right?
Of course.
So,
it's honor.
It's a light Irish Catholic meal.
Yeah. Where were the rest of them?
Everybody yelling at the Cowboys for sure.
Yeah, baby. So it was like, it ended up being like such an incredible experience. I ended up, learning about Nick, doing my research, and I just felt so many similarities to myself and Nick. And like when you have cancer and it's like you're going through that, like it's all about like, for me, it was like finding out like, why am I going through this?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you don't want to like feel sorry for yourself. Like that's the last thing you want to do. And so I think that was like the turning point for me, because then I started thinking, okay, this is why I'm supposed to go through this. I'm going to beat this thing, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to work for Headstrong. So I told Cheryl, Cheryl, when I get out of here, I'm going to work for you guys. I'm going to be working for Headstrong. That's that's my destiny. And so that's what I've been doing. So I've been involved in Headstrong ever since. So that was, 2008 Thanksgiving. And every year after that, we would have Thanksgiving dinner. And of course, up until COVID, we were able to get in there and have dinner. So it was like 12 years straight. And then serve the patients and visit with the patients in the hospital and tell them my story, and been involved in like patient advocacy programs. So if someone's newly diagnosed, wants to talk to somebody, I have a program called Head to Head that I run for the foundation, and then I'm on the board, and obviously serve in other capacities with Jeff. And Jeff's a Springfield guy, and as you guys know, and so I've been close with Jeff and some other folks from Springfield, getting Springfield involved.
We don't hold that against him. We don't hold the fact that he's from Springfield against him.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
nice,
They let me in.
I'm jealous.
O'Hara guy. But,
Hell yeah. Hell
I don't
yeah.
hold that against him. Yeah. But anyway, I realize the Bonner and O'Hara guys are pretty similar.
We just hate the
think
prep.
about it.
We just hate the
Yeah,
prep.
everybody just takes the prep.
Everybody, I mean, I'm just gonna go.
Common age.
I'm gonna go blue here. Fuck the prep.
Yeah.
And LaSalle.
Exactly.
Fuck LaSalle.
Yep.
Fun,
You know what? Judge 2 while we're at it.
my senior week down the shore, we had our house was split into 4 sections, and we were the top one at O'Hara, and it was all O'Hara guys. And then one of the bottom
Sausage fest.
one of the bottom sections was the Bonner guys, and
Sausage
we're all like
fest.
kind of bringing our stuff in, and we're like fighting and yelling at each other, and then the door opens in the middle part, and it's a bunch of prep guys, and everybody just stopped and started yelling at them. Like we became like best friends in like one fell swoop. Yep.
That's hilarious. I have similar stories. What school did you go to?
I went to O'Hara.
Everyone in
so
this
you
room
went
is
to
O'Hara,
Parish.
Bonner, or
Oh, I went to Holy Cross.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ridley.
Nice. Yeah. You're Holy
Joe
Cross.
lives in behind.
I
Holy
live.
Cross,
I live.
actually.
I could throw a rock to Holy Cross.
There you
and my
go.
daughter played for Holy Cross, and we hate St. Francis.
Well,
My
yeah, that's
daughter
a
played
turkey ball
basketball
right
for-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think they're better than us.
That's
They're
the
not.
ultimate
And they
Bonner
kind of
rally.
are too.
That's the ultimate Delco rally cry. They think they're better than us.
He's not wrong though, because like growing up, we would play
St.
all
God's.
our significant thing against it was St. Francis / St. Kevin's, because St. Kevin's didn't
St.
have
Kevin's
their
had the dances where you could
Yeah.
get butt in 8th grade.
God almighty.
They think
And
they're better than us.
and we would play football against them on Thanksgiving and different things like that. But when you went to O'Hara, it was like the first 2 weeks were contentious between any Holy Cross and St. Francis person, and then like after that we all forgot. It's like it was all over. We were fine.
But listen, if
Yeah, I
anybody
can't
from the
stand
prep,
those. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if anybody from the prep wants to donate to Delco Day,
They can still go to hell. We don't need your money.
We love-
You think you're better than me.
we love the prep and we love LaSalle.
See, we love your money.
And so do they. They're not going to give it
I
to
will-
us. I will fight anyone for the prep for donations.
Nah, that's awesome. Nah, I appreciate you guys having me and like telling my story. But I love what you guys do. And I think I've met a few of you guys. Some of you guys were at the golf outing.
Yes, me and Holbrook were there.
That's when.
If you
that's-
recall,
Okay.
Al won the.
I was the guy who won the
raffle.
Al
booze.
won all the booze.
You were the guy who won that band.
Yep.
Do you remember? Because I came up to you and I said, "Listen, I had cancer. I had a bone marrow. Give me a
Yeah,
bottle. Give me
exactly.
something." You threw me a bottle of rum.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait, you're using
Yeah, I
your
call-
cancer.
So
He was
tough.
saying-
I
He was
use the
selling
cancer
them.
card. I call it the cancer card. I use
The
my
cancer
cancer card.
Yeah, but
I
hold
had
on. I
cancer.
gotta
Give me a bottle of liquor.
paint the picture here. It's not your typical basket of cheer.
It
It's
was
not like a
ti-
like
ti-
10 bottles
It
in a
was
basket.
insane.
It-
Yeah.
it was like if I remember, it was at least 5 or 6 liquor boxes full of stuff, cases of beer,
I
wine,
say $5,000 worth of that.
wine bottles. I could have probably given every
No joke.
one person that was there a bottle of booze and still went home with something.
He
So-
gave me 2 6-packs for carrying it out and a bottle of Crown Royal.
So enough to get Holbrook through a weekend.
Yeah, we call that a Holbrook Thursday night.
And,
Yeah.
Al, you won it, but who sold all the tickets for
Yeah,
it?
he sold half of it.
But that was the funny part. Like, I'm sitting there, I literally said to the person, I think it was Holbrook, I said, because you were sitting next to me, I said, dude, I hope I want to win this, but God, the eyes I'm going to get if I win this. And they literally called my number. I'm like, and I just jumped up like, yes. And I looked around, I'm like, they're pissed.
It was silence. and
Yeah.
Oh, they're so pissed. I was like, "You motherfucker! I have cancer. Give me that fucking bottle of liquor. I need it more than you." But
Yeah, he dropped the card. I'm like, here you go, buddy. No
how
problem.
fast?
I
How
love it because
fast did you drink all that liquor?
It worked out perfectly because I know this is going to sound crazy, but
Sold it on
my
eBay.
daughter's 12th grade graduation was later that week or that month. So like, hey babe, we don't have to go to Total Wine. I got us covered.
Nice.
So
we actually still have one bottle from that.
no, that's a different bottle.
The little apricot one or whatever.
Oh, maybe that isn't. Yeah, we have a couple bottles.
The caramel.
I had to bring a bunch of things here because I had
3
like
years
not
later.
enough to store it at the house. But yeah, we went through most of it by the end of the
And
summer.
we like to drink.
Yeah.
Dude, that was one of my most fun days I've ever lived.
That was it poured rain and you guys refused to leave.
We
the
refused
golf
to
course.
leave because we were shooting out of our minds.
It wouldn't be the first time
it
Holbrook
was.
was thrown off a golf course or a country club. So
We like
Nah, will you guys be there this time?
there's,
Coming up in June.
there's always that
Yeah,
possibility.
We need some basket of cheers.
Yeah,
sellers.
I'm a good. I can sell it. I can sell son of a bitch. I'll tell you that much.
All right.
Come out and hack.
Well, anyway, I'd like to catch up with you guys again. And
All right, Joe.
awesome what you guys are doing, man.
I appreciate it, Joe. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks,
Keep doing what you're doing. All right, Jeff. See you soon. Later.
So I mean, that's a lot of great
Joey
interviews, great stories. I love the Delco. He's just like, it came out of him. Like, it started off normal, and then he's just like, there's fucking guys that want to win all the booze, you know? I was like, dude, I'm telling you, dagger eyes. I had them. People were ready to like.
Why were they? They were mad at you on it.
You have to understand.
Everybody wanted.
It was so I'm walking around, like he said, the rain came, so everybody was like.
Elsa's walking.
We stopped golfing. We stopped golfing, and it was just people drinking.
And,
like 2 hours.
Everybody was underneath, like,
except for 4 valiant souls that won that day.
But everybody was underneath, like kind of like this outside, trying to keep dry.
Cowards.
And we're sitting there. I'm like walking around, and like it's a $50 chance, but like I said, there would had to be like lowballing it $3,000 worth of booze, and that's lowballing. It could be more. Possibly. I mean, like there was a bottle of Crown, like the Crown bottle was probably alone $150. You know what I
As a
mean?
raging alcoholic, I can tell you that was the most amount of booze I've ever seen.
I would,
besides a liquor
word
store.
on this one.
And so I'm the one, because I go, Jeff, how can I help? And Jeff goes, can you sell the basket of cheer? Because he's like, and I would go around. And I literally said to everybody, I'm like, only like 2 or 3 people bought this. You know, your chances are high. Your chances are high that I'm going to win this. Like I got dagger eyes. It was hilarious, but no, it was a good time. Everybody was cool. But I did, once again, I handed out at least 6 or 7, not including what I gave Holbrook. I'm talking like the people I really didn't know, like Joe. I handed out bottles of liquor and wine to people, and I gave some of away just because I couldn't fit it in the car, and I have an SUV with the seats down. That's how much was in there. So just let that settle in.
You should have came to Martin McGee's afterwards. That's the day, the infamous day of the oh no, not a Mercedes.
That was the day that it flooded so much. We had like 250,000 views of people driving into water. So yes, that was
Where's it at?
All because I was all for that golf
course.
Yeah.
Springfield Country.
It was the country club, yeah.
Country Club?
Beautiful course for the first 2 holes until the monsoon hits, and then it just becomes vengeance.
So we had a bunch of calls from people who either from Headstrong, who have helped Headstrong and have used Headstrong, or both. Now we have people here in studio who are going to join us, who are going to be helping out on Delco Day by trying their best to entertain a bunch of Delconian drunks.
Yes.
So we got 2 seats open here. So why don't we let you guys jump in there?
I don't know what 2 you're talking about.
1, 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's 2.
Do you still have that video queued up that we were going to play earlier?
Oh, yes. So while you guys sit down, you guys can sit down. I'm going to play this video. This was Nick. So Nick,
this is while he was
like
in
you said, a
college.
lot of people who work there have not met Nick because he passed away by then. And I said, when you listen to this video, you would not have to guess if you didn't know that he was from Delco. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to cue this up. I'm going to play it real quick, guys. Just give me a second here. All right.
A lot of players have contributed to the success of Hofstra's lacrosse program over the years, but not as much as sophomore Nick Cullilori, or as his friends refer to him, as Fathead.
Let's go. Let's go, baby. Me, you, and us, baby. Come on, okay, let's get it going.
Nick is a young man who came to us last year from Ridley, Pennsylvania. Was a freshman. Tremendous enthusiasm, an overachiever. In the first fall scrimmage, he made a couple of plays in his first fall scrimmage against North Carolina that just let us know that he was a competitor.
Nick finished his first year strong, but then in the fall, what started out as a stuffy nose was diagnosed as cancer. Nick went home for surgery, but came back to Hofstra ready for his sophomore year.
So I just went back to school, just like, recovery, just not thinking a lot about it, just, concentrating on lacrosse in school.
But the cancer spread.
A week later, my coach came and got me out after class, and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you up in the office. So I'm like, okay. So we went up there, and I opened the door, and my parents were sitting there.
And of course, we didn't have to say any words because just the fact that we were there during midweek, they know. We really didn't have to say too much. He walked into the coach's office and saw us and really didn't get upset. He was like, okay, I know what I have to do.
The day that he found out about it, he said, Coach, I'd like to speak to the team. And I said, sure. And he came downstairs, and it was like maybe a Tuesday afternoon in September. I mean, it was unbelievable what he had to say to these guys. I couldn't look at the rest of the team because I was crying, and I didn't want guys to see me crying. I mean, it was one of those experiences that you're thankful that you're a coach, and you're thankful that you get to meet people like him.
There's something about Nick that he just brings everybody together.
Absolutely.
He supports, he's just a really amazing son. And it's, as parents, we're learning from Nick.
Yeah.
It should be the other way around. As parents, we're supposed to be teaching our kids, but
he's teaching us.
Although Nick can't physically be out there on the field, he's found a way to make sure he remains a vital part of the team with the Fathead Awards. So whose idea was the Fathead Award?
Actually, the coaches called me and they said, hey, we have an idea for the to keep you in touch with the team. We were going to give an award for like the best players in the game. Here's the sticker. It is a picture of a fat head with the number 27 in the middle of it to represent me.
For someone who's as knowledgeable about the game as Nick is and who understands, the team concept like Nick does, it means a lot that he notices that you're doing the little things to help the team win. So it obviously means a lot when you win one of those awards.
Michael, have you ever gotten one of the Fathead Awards?
Nah,
You haven't?
I haven't got one yet, actually. He was telling me that my first goal would be my first Fathead Award.
When Hofstra beat Sacred Heart last week, Michael finally got his first goal.
First and foremost, I'm going to get out of here. I love my little brother, and he scored his first college goal. I love you, Warren. You got a fat head.
It's like I get away when I get here and I watch them. Like it takes away all the things that I've been going through, and it's just I'm here and I'm watching, and it's like I'm playing it myself.
There's no doubt in anybody's mind that he'll be back, and he'll be back as a student, and he'll be back playing for Hofstra.
Oh, two treats. Two treats.
I got yeah.
Way to stay involved, Nick. And if you want to help Nick out, you can hook up with his foundation, Headstrong. For info, Headstrong for Nick at yahoo.com.
I judge the yahoo.com email, even though my email is literally yahoo.com right now. You're up. What, me? Yeah. I've been up all night, Al. Cheese and rice. Anyway, we're back, and we've taken a million phone calls from people who have benefited from Headstrong, been part of Headstrong, the recipient of this year's, donations and whatnot. We've got current employees of Headstrong. Jeff is absolutely one of the best. Al ran away. He's got a tiny bladder. I think he had to pee.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're doing. You look better in that camera than Al did.
Oh, thank you.
But we've got, Headstrong. I'm sorry, Delco-A is not, just about the cause. Delco-A is about the event too, and we've got some great guests in studio that
Who
are
we
going
got?
to be performing that day. Ray, right?
That's correct.
Hi, Ray.
Hello.
You're in a certain band in this area.
Yes, I am.
Is it the shirt that you're currently wearing?
What gave that away?
He's in a band called Buzzkill, who is going to be on right after this other band called Pint for Pint. I believe you are Chris Schmidt.
That would be correct.
I believe you are in a band called Pint for Pint.
Yes. I believe you're also.
I've heard of them. Adjunctly. Schmidt, you personally have, off my count, as the booker for all the Delco-A's that have ever existed, you have played 6 out of 7. We count 5. Everyone play 5.
So yeah, we were going to play 5, and yeah, we missed the initial, so this will be
6 out of 7.
6.
Buzzkill.
Like you're singing in that mic, baby. Get that mic close.
Buzzkill should have been on every single one from the beginning, but we were dopes and never went out and bothered asking. Ray, how long you been in Buzzkill?
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
You go full Marshawn Lynch. I love it.
I've just about a year.
Just a year?
Just about a year.
Okay.
Yeah, they picked us up maybe a little over a year.
Buzzkill's been floating around for about 20 years, though, right?
Yes, exactly.
Interchangeable people.
Yes.
Who's like the main constant that's in there?
That would be Mike Patterson.
That's him. He is like Buzzkill, like
Right, he's the
everything. falls in.
cornerstone.
Okay.
And then there's Tim, who is a blazing guitar player.
Yeah.
And
The bald guy.
Bald guy.
Oh, he's good. He's
Right.
good. He's dope.
Yes, and there's Buzz. was himself.
Yeah. I was saying, is it named after him or is
Yeah.
it just a coincidental thing?
It's just because he's all into that.
Okay.
That shit.
Who you got on base now? Chris Huebner?
Yes.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a chill dude.
Yeah, it's an interesting little setup.
He's another band called Wrecking Ball that like they have done some good sets that I've seen.
They do some stuff down
Fanny Goat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever been to a Delco-A before?
Probably just to watch bands.
Okay.
play.
But you've been there. Like
Yeah.
you've been there. Okay, cool. Do you guys know where you're playing at?
Yeah.
It's on a crate. It's the crate stage in the back.
That's
So Joe
awesome.
McGee took this crate and like hollowed it out and put all these high tech speakers and lights and smoke machines, and it is absolutely astounding.
Nice.
Yeah,
He's actually got the monitors overhead, so you got more stage space there. It's pretty cool.
Extras on to bring my in-ears or anything.
Yeah, I would not think so.
This
I
is
would
gonna
not
be
think
very
so.
interesting. All right,
Yeah.
now I understand that this is because of a great cause.
Oh,
Real
yeah.
strong. And it's like, wow, mind blown. I'm sitting there listening to these great stories and the kids thing. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
blowing my mind. I'm like, now how am I going to represent Buzzkill and talk about so Buzzkill? This challenge.
Oh no, because that's the whole cause of it. Is it all started as basically just like, it all started for a charity, a different one, and it was all about like we're just trying to show like what Delaware County can do.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
kind of cool how it literally started. We were just talking about the first two venues that did Delco-A closed because they were, no offense, they were shitholes.
I mean,
and
the one bar was just constantly rotating.
Yeah, the one bar was not going to be that no matter what.
Which one?
That is, it was called what?
It
JD
was-
Rawson's at the time.
Oh, okay.
It's a Taste of Key West now, or it was.
Oh,
The old Rosario's in Morton.
Well, yeah, that one that was going to be a nice venue, but
And I take it back. They were actually extremely good at hosting it. It's just we knew they weren't going to be called that anytime soon.
No comparison to Arnie McGee's.
No,
No,
Marty
not at
McGee's,
all.
when they stepped up, the first year we did it at this place called Eagles Den, which is long gone.
Wow.
And it was one stage, and we're talking like literally a riser. And it was 5 bands. It was like 2 cover bands. It was actually this one band called Purple the Core. I don't know if you guys know them from around here. You've seen them, right?
You've talked about them.
The Stone Temple Pilots
Really?
cover band.
Maybe were they?
I think we went and saw them in Voltage Lounge one time.
Yeah, Voltage. They were with
So they're-
Los
they're-
Angeles. Rage Against the
yeah.
Machine tribute band. Yeah.
And they fucking rock, and they get some good shows. And their first ever show was Delco-A. They were like
Yeah.
nervous about it, very first one. And it was basically just like we got like 35 people in the room, and we're just like, this is just another fucking regular. And then the next year, we added 2 stages, and we're like, all right, let's rotate them. We can get like 10 bands and a couple DJs, and it was cool. And it was basically just showing what, like, literally what Delco can do.
we can do it.
And we, we never really had a festival or anything. And then year 3, we jumped from me and Al's previous show into Delco Live, and Delco Live took off really quickly because those the bar brackets, town brackets, and we went from a reach of like 1,000 to like 20,000 real quick. And then Delco-A grew, and Marty McGee stepped up, and Joe McGee has been like literally the best. He's the best person to host this, especially with his beautiful stage outside, inside, and then we build one out in the parking lot. And it's just a really good eclectic way of keeping local music in there. Most, if not all, bands are from this area, or at least know this area, and it's a very homegrown thing. And yeah, Buzzkill should have been on there years ago, and I'm glad they're here this year.
Well, thank you very much. Love to represent that strong foundation.
Yeah.
I'm here to just say thank you very much.
But at the end of the day, like what you were saying is like, just like, how do I go from like representing Buzzkill and like, like me being a degenerate, how does it go into, helping Headstrong? How's it going? It's because it's Delco. Like the number one thing is Delco. It's Delco helping Delco. Like we have to still stay degenerate pieces of shit that day. Like rock out, go nuts. Like
But
it
you're
is a
right.
day of debauchery, and it goes to a great cause. But it's just letting Delco be Delco.
And, that's good. And like I heard earlier that, there is no other county like us.
100%.
I'm from the area, so that's
Like Delco is basically just like when you take a dog to a park and you take it off the leash and it just gets to be a dog. It's
Yeah,
just like
right.
you walk in, let your accent flow. Be mad about something from high school.
That's cool.
Try to fight someone. I don't care. Like
You should require people to wear like shirts from where they're.
we've
like,
thought about that
honor
before.
shirts,
That
so
would've been a
Harris,
better
and
bet,
Harris,
yeah.
like Academy Park. Like,
I was wearing a St. Philomena shirt the other day. We did actually offer a prize for most Delco dress one year, and one chick did show up just like with everything perfect, like high school uniform with a mug that said "Fight me, I'm from Alden." Like she couldn't have done it better. She definitely won.
That's cool.
But you guys have like, I don't know, a 50-minute set or something.
Yeah.
You guys
I
normally.
just got back from rehearsal and like just running it. You got it faster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Where you guys play mostly on this side of the county, I feel.
Yes, we do. And we're your classic rock band that Delco loves so well.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to be bringing it. So I'm going to have a good time. I'm looking forward to listening to just about everybody. I'm all about the music.
You guys
know
got
what
a
I mean?
prime slot. You guys, I believe, are second to last outside.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So I'll be just sobering up enough just to get back into it.
Yes,
again.
yes,
Puke and rally.
Oh, you're right, and you're right after my pint, which is just going to be a disaster. I love it.
They're going to probably be the reasons why because I'm going to be drinking pint for pint.
We're causing a ruckus. We usually do.
And because that's the reason, right?
That's the reason. That's why it's named after a drinking event. Where's your guys' next show after Delco Day?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But once we get it out there, Michael's going to post it up there. So make sure you check our website or any postings. He's all hip to that stuff these kids do today. That social media.
Yeah, we'll be sharing with links and all that, especially on our website. And we're doing a couple interviews. I think I'm getting interviewed by WHYY on Thursday, and then we're going to reach out to Evan Moore and all that stuff. And we'll see what we can do with the bands. The one thing we've learned is going back all the way to Delco Day 1 was everyone wants to help, but and they'll always support the event and the bands, but they'll never support Delco Live because we're a radio show too or whatever. But it's always good. We'll at least get the name out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you need help with promotion?
I've got everything.
You got it?
I might seem like a delinquent, but I actually have everything put together pretty well behind the scenes.
It looks fabulous. I was nervous when I walked
Oh, this room, I did not do anything in this room. You can ask Al. I actually faked an injury to get out of it. Yeah.
Cool.
And Schmidt, you've played 6 Delco Days, going back all the way to JT Ralston's. Mm-hmm. You have had a different lineup probably every year.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think so. The very first year we did it was still not even the original lineup of the band, and yeah, I want to say Tom might have done the most, and then now John and you, obviously, but yeah, a lot of transitions.
I only played one. I only played one with Word Cell.
This is true. That was it was last year.
I had produced your record in 2019 and was there yelling the lyrics in the front row.
Recorded in your dad's basement as he was upstairs watching the Phillies.
That's yeah. We're not all made of money. We're gonna make it one day. But you've been to you've been to all of them, and what's your favorite Delco Day?
Oh man, that's tough. So like the very first one that was at Rawson's, that was neat because it was I didn't really know what we were getting into, and we're just like, yeah, cool. We'll play a show, and we walked in there, and we met Mark and the guys from Goalkeeper.
Yeah,
and we're like, oh, cool. We're all like into a lot of similar genres. There were people that I knew there from going to open mics at RP McMurphy's, RIP. And I think Tom Curtis was doing Curtis Jr.
He was. He was. He's another 6-timer.
Yeah.
And he still does great music all over the place. If you ever catch,
he's good talent.
Oh yeah,
good
he's great.
talent.
He's awesome.
Skill. Yo, I met him honestly when I was like, man, I was probably 22. He was 20, and he had just gotten into it, and it was just like, here's Wonderwall out of key, just whip out the acoustic guitar, kind of ruin the party kind of situation, and then to catch up with him even only 2 years later, I'm like, this dude's got chops.
Yeah.
He honed it real quick, man. He honed that shit real quick. His original stuff's amazing. He's just such a champ out doing this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like last year might have been my favorite. Just out in the parking lot, we don't get the quality of a nice stage with our band. We ended up playing out in the parking lot, literally day of setting up a tent, just carrying cabs in and going at it. And it's great because now they got that deck there. For those of you who are into Marty's, they had this crazy huge deck. That kind of hangs over the parking lot. And so people up on this deck, they can just kind of go side to side as the bands go throughout the day.
That's fantastic.
It's really cool. You just kind of walk one side to the other. You can hear the music everywhere. And we just went nuts last year. I remember glow sticks and inflatable bananas flying all over the place.
Wait, you played in Saco 2 years in a row, didn't you?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. I got to watch Saco under the tent the one year, and then
Reckless night.
So that was Delco Day 3. And then Delco Day 4, I I
You
rotated
play
in
some
with-
songs, yeah.
Yeah, it was
You, Mark, and Joe McGee.
yeah, and Rob Irvin jumped into one.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, and then after that, played both Sacco and Porter's Hell sets kind of back to back. So like I just kind of like swapped bases for different tuning, and then just went right back into it. Yeah,
The parking lot. I mean, they're bringing it up out there. The parking lot is last year we had to build it the day of, which was kind of annoying. But the previous years we did it, we got to build it like a day or two beforehand, except for like plugging shit in and electric work. So like basically got to like custom make it. Always like that. But I think we're doing that again this year.
Excellent.
That may be out there on the 9th and 10th, especially with the fence. They're getting a fence, right?
Yes, that's what I'm hearing.
Fence is fucking happening, right?
I'm hearing that's a possibility.
Yeah, we need that fence,
and hopefully
a porta potty,
yes.
and a fence and
Yes.
lights. We got
Parking. How's parking?
Well,
non-existent. Let's
Listen,
just start with that.
I'm going to tell you guys this much.
Still the best venue for parking out of the
Yeah.
three we've had.
Yeah, seriously. No, the best way for those kind of things is Uber. If you can, because listen, a day of drinking in the sun, Uber is the best idea. But you can park across the street and up, but in the lot. Just don't park on the street on the wrong side. That's what people did wrong. They just thought like because they're
We'll
listen.
talk to them. We'll
Yeah,
be
I'm
fine.
going to give Prospect Park police. They were good about that. They only get one person a ticket, but I went up and talked to him. He didn't end up giving her the ticket.
He cried.
And
he cried.
I cried.
I watched it. I watched
little
it from afar.
bitch. The guy goes, if I just don't give her the ticket, will you stop crying? I said, no promises.
No, with my, I mean, even without my glasses, I heard you cry.
Even without your glasses, you heard me crying.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, but no, I mean, honestly, it hasn't stopped hundreds of people from coming to this thing. That's the best part about it.
Thousands, Al.
thousands, yes, thousands,
Thousands.
yes, but
Millions, Al.
Okay, calm down there, honey.
Well, here's the thing, because I'm going to be bringing gear after this.
So yeah, well, we'll have it. We have it all set up for you guys. Can pull up just enough space for a car to pull up, unload, and then go move your car somewhere else. So we got that covered. We got that down to a science at this point. And then, but from people coming in, it's kind of a perfect layout because we funnel everybody through the front door. So you can either pay, if you paid ahead of time, we can check you off the list. Or if not, you can pay your way, get your T-shirt.
Billions, Al.
Billions, yes. And then, like we said, there's a bar inside where the stage gets going at 10. There's 2 outdoor stages, one in the main parking lot, one up in the crate, as they call it. Now that they have that deck, it makes it even better. So you can actually, it's pretty cool. I did this the other year. One band's going on. I'm
Wow,
kinda
Al,
on it,
you're literally
yeah.
just repeating exactly what me and Schmidt.
Sorry, I
said
was
3 minutes ago. Wow. So you're just getting back in. Al recapped on everything we just said.
He was talking. He was showing.
I was teaching somebody
Yeah.
something.
Is there a camera for you? Nobody.
I'm
can
cool.
See
Yeah,
you.
you're better off that way.
Yeah, no, it's just the voice out of nowhere saying
Yeah.
exactly what me. It's the audio.
I'm looking at all you guys.
Holbrook's sitting there going, holy shit, I'm starting to hear myself again.
Yeah. Oh, my voice is in
Here,
my head. Or
do me a
acting
favor,
up
drink
again.
another beer.
Don't threaten me with what I was doing anyway.
But no, I mean, listen, I'm excited.
Alex, you know that Freddie Burns called in.
He did.
Oh wow, yeah. All right.
You know, somebody's doing all the work here. He's got a lot of balls.
How many glow sticks are we going to have this year? To throw?
610. That's what I ordered last year.
610. That's right.
But last year you couldn't get exactly 610.
Yeah, I had to order 800.
He ordered 800 glow sticks.
And he just grabbed a handful of it. That's about 10.
My goal was
Took 190 out of them.
My goal was to cause it an environmental disaster. I wanted them all to just.
You are an
sweep
environmental
away.
disaster.
Oh my goodness.
And on the same day, there was actually that giant oil leak in Brookhaven. I was like, oh, I didn't make a joke.
They'll all
about
be
environmental
floating.
disaster.
They'll all be floating underneath
Yeah.
the train trestle.
Yeah. That could be the only good thing from rain for us.
I wanted
the
like
glow sticks. Just
Yeah.
rise up.
I wanted like 6 ABC to be like, why are at John Hines Wildlife Preserve? Why are all these beavers making dams that are glowing?
Yeah. The radiation.
Yeah.
Right from The Simpsons.
Bioluminescence.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next 420 flood's gonna look like the Ninja Turtles had like a rave party or something.
There's Freddie busting your balls.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I'm producing, I'm not looking away. So if I'm not listening and I repeat something, I get my balls busted. Freddie does it, you do, y'all can go kiss my ass.
I don't.
That's
do it.
how I feel.
I don't repeat. I'm not a parrot.
No, I'm saying if I do miss something.
Doo doo.
You're talking.
So, can you throw that band graphic up so we can just give people an idea of what they're in store for?
Which graphic? You have so many fans.
The one in the the one that says Delco Live Bands in the top row there.
bands.
I'm
Oh,
trying
we're
to
gonna do
for
it.
those who are wondering, I'm trying to teach
Are we gonna
Spaz how to produce.
Are we gonna do one of Holbrook's quick fires.
Well, Al doesn't let me drink and do them anymore.
I don't let you drink. Guy, can you bring that one down real quick? Because I want everybody to see how many beers are in front of that. I don't. Well, I'm his dad.
I don't want my boss to.
Yeah.
Some of us need money to get.
So
through
there is the possible lineup sans one.
Al, why don't you tell us about them?
No, I want you to do it. Go ahead.
Why don't you
enjoy it.
tell us, Al?
No,
Since
go
you're
ahead.
always so judgmental.
I just know Pint for Pint might be playing. That's all I know.
We got
That's all I
loaded.
can tell you.
I think I know all but one of these bands personally too. So that's
I've met good 2/3 of them.
You want it?
Who done
You want it?
The Juvies?
Go.
You want it?
No.
Pick a quadrant. Pick a quadrant. Where we start?
Start with the Juvies.
Bottom right. We're gonna start with the bottom right. Say I won't. Collindale Zone. They want to say they're pop punk, but they are punk. They are fucking hard punk. They are gonna sit there. The singer's gonna sit there. He's gonna be a little awkward, but guess what? He's gonna get in your fucking soul. And he's gonna fuck it. He's gonna fuck it. And then all of a sudden we got Jumpin' Juvies. They are hard. They are hard. Hard dicks. Hard dicks. They are coming in. They're firing. The sun's gonna be out. Gun's gonna be out. They're coming in. Kissing the klepto. Light your cigs. Smoke your embalming fluid. They're coming right at your ass. That's Steve Profits Band, Brian Quirk. They're coming for your fucking throat and coming in your fucking throat. Dr. Feel Okay. Oh my God, you're gonna fucking Dr. Feel all right. After they're done, they're playing late night. They're trying to switch spots. We're only talking an hour difference, and they are just gonna. They're going to be real. They're going to be real. They're going to capture the audience. They're going to feel right in that moment. Josh Zaner, he can go fuck himself. What a terrible piece of shit. I hated him. And I swear to God, I will call his parole officer. Nick McGrath, what a champion. He was just on the MM Barbecue. He
I'm on the last show.
He's the James Brown of Delco.
He's James Brown of Delco. Dude is a beautiful voice. I think
Artist
he's
working
playing. He might be playing solo. He may have a band. Whatever. He's leading off, and he's gonna be a fucking great lead off. He's used to playing in the sun. He was sunburned from playing the MM Barbecue. He won their karaoke contest. Forget exactly what they call it. Bridget Galloway and Bridget Owen and Jeremy Milligan. Oh my God, what a duo! What a voice! What a talent! They together are unstoppable. They play coaches all the time. They play other places all the time. I'm in a band with Bridget.
Voice of an angel.
Voice of an angel. Voice of an angel. They are going to be there. She's got a new kid. She's going to bring the kid, put earphones on it. It's going to be adorable. It's going to be fucking adorbs. They're playing.
Totes adorbs.
They're like 4:30-ish. I forget. The Pulse, you want to talk about throwback punk.
Yeah.
Not even just punk, like alternative punk. That like beautiful late 90s stuff that you respected. They played last year. They are just, you're going to have nothing but respect for them. Seeing Snakes. They are brutal. They are going to just fuck your face. They are brutal. I love playing shows with them. They're really cool dudes. Vixen 77. Fuck testosterone. They're estrogen up the ass. They're coming in. They're coming in firing. They wanted to be here tonight, but they can't because they're that great. They're that fucking great. They were recommended by a million different fucking people to play the show. They jumped at the opportunity. They are going to
I can't wait.
They are going to be absolutely amazing. They're like 7 o'clock-ish. Curtis Jr., 6th time out of 7. 6. He is 6 for 6 of being like asking like us knowing about him. Absolute gem. Absolute gem. He's a Springfield dude. He plays like all these open mics around here. He does everything. He quit drinking. He's like even cooler now. It's not like that was a problem anyway, but like he hosts all these open mics. He's the man. It's whether it's him, the full band, doesn't matter. Oh my God, just bring extra panties. Just bring extra panties because you're gonna fucking need them. Like 420 won't be the only thing floating that fucking day.
It's gonna be slip and slide.
Pint for pint. It's a collection of two bands.
Hold on, did they stop drinking Pint for Pint?
No, just to do this promo, Al, because you know what? Winners never win. Pint for Pint is a combination of Sacco, who's played 7 of these. It's a combination of Bordeaux plays 6 of these. That's the unlucky 13, which was Schmidt's jersey number and my jersey number because he was the left hand of me when he was fat and we played softball.
We both sat the bench.
Yes. And now we're here and we're ready to finger fuck. And we're playing and we're going to rip the parking lot apart and there's going to be fucking bananas and there's going to be glow sticks and there's just going to be just charisma and machismo oozing down 420 like it was a light drizzle. Go away, Guild. It's Delaware County. What do you want? You want the Irish. Well, yeah, get the Irish. because they're closing out the fucking crate stage, and we're gonna fucking shove a shillelagh up my ass. We're gonna fucking rock. They're gonna be absolutely amazing. Buzzkill, my God, do you like Billy Idol? Do you like the Rolling Stones? Do you like Delco? Then you're gonna love them. They're on right before a Galway kill. I swear to Christ, throw the condoms out and get frisky. Loaded bongos, fucking acoustic. Ah! Their second year doing it. They love it. Just There's your 15 acts that are playing Duck today.
That is awesome.
Clear. Oh, we're going to pass out on that one. Are you back?
What happened?
Yeah, we're
What did
paddles.
When did you guys get here? Anyway, we were supposed to keep the show clean, right? Did I do that? Did I do well?
We blew through that.
Yeah, I don't remember signing up for that, but
That's right. Yeah,
I didn't give you that knowing that was going to stay clean.
Nothing about us is clean, okay?
Did you know they sell Worcester Frontier?
Yes.
I didn't know they're called Chetties now.
Chetty Bang Bang.
Chets are the best.
So still just says Lord Chesterfield. All right.
Hell, you spilled something.
Oh God, I'll be the one cleaning it up anyway. So wow, where do we go from here?
I'm just seeing the ad for Fat Cow Jerky.
And, you want some jerky?
We have a surplus of jerky. No,
Did
don't
you-
tell them that.
It's their birthday, Schmidt.
It is their birthday, 1 year
pickle-
anniversary.
Yeah, all the pickle. So I went through 2 or 3 bags of this, like their maple bacon or breakfast bacon jerky. Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, highly recommend. Breakfast.
It's called maple. I don't have any left. I'll see if I can get some for you guys.
Yeah.
But there's the maple breakfast sausage is amazing.
Man.
Mango.
So anyway, yeah, it's for a good fundraiser for Headstrong. You know, let's all help all those families.
Yeah, I mean, guys, you can donate. The link is up in the comment section. I have it pinned. So if you're not going to be able to make it, but you heard some great stories tonight, hit home for you, or you just feel like doing something nice, there you go. And here's some of the great sponsors that are making this.
I got it.
Making this possible.
I got it. No, I don't got it. I don't want to.
Three Brothers Tile, 610-809.
Oh my God, wake up now. Do you need some fucking caffeine? Three Brothers Tile, 610-809-9542. I can't stop.
Slide back there.
Oh, you ask a train to stop.
Oh yeah, I forgot about his mic. Volume.
Yeah. Anyway,
Go ahead,
so
Chris.
Three Brothers Tile. If you need your kitchens, your bathrooms, your basements, your ceramics, your porcelains, or your stone done, why don't you give them a call, 610-809-9542, and then tell your neighbor to go fuck himself and call the same fucking number for Three Brothers Tile. Arnie's Army, that's Jess Gallagher hit us up. That's a family thing. That's a nice thing. They actually went and raised a bunch of money at their family dinners. Instead of just sitting there around there bickering around politics, they fucking raised some money and they wanted to get on the shirts, and they're great and they love this cause. Dolans, 21 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley.
24.
24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park, Pennsylvania, 19078. Home of the most Delco open mic on Sundays, unlike the graphic.
What?
Doesn't it say Thursdays on the graphic still that we do?
I don't know. It's the graphic I was given.
And the most Delco, I can't say it without getting a PTSD. The most Delco Quizzo.
Yeah.
Is it Tuesdays or Fridays? I don't know. It's just.
Should I start throwing things at you?
It's just, they were so mean to me.
Oh my God.
So mean to me.
I feel people either yell at you or run away from you. Like, I don't feel like there's another option for you.
Godzilla. Coaches across the street from Blue Turks. I don't know the address. Essington. You could go every Sunday. You go find a great band called Buzzkill playing there. Great
Every
place.
Sunday, did you say?
What's up?
Every.
No.
Did you say every Sunday?
Did I say Sunday?
That's what I thought you said.
For coaches?
Yeah.
No, I said across the street from Blue Turks. Did I? I don't know.
Well, you just said Buzzkill.
I said every so often.
Oh, every so often.
Every so often. Every so often.
I
You
thought
find
you
a
said every
great band called
Sunday. All
Buzzkill
right,
playing
all right.
there. Or you can find Bridget and Jeremy playing there too.
Okay, awesome.
You can find actually a lot of our acts playing there. We might have just recruited out of there. Great place, Essington. If you're ever on the island and you don't feel like catching an STD from Blue Turks or just hating yourself from, you know what? I'm not going to finish that sentence. You should just go to Coaches because it's fucking great. Everyone who works there is great. The food is unbelievable. It's a chill place. It's a very eclectic place because it's right near the airport, right outside Southwest, right on Essington. There's a lot of hotels around there.
You probably meet a stewardess or two, right?
I have actually run into a couple stewardesses there. One of them's supposed to call us about some reality show on like a fucking Mormon program, which is ridiculous.
Soaking.
All the best.
You know I love me some soaking.
And
All the
speaking
best
of-
pilots
and
drinking
speaking of
coaches.
what is so awesome that he's eating over there, fat cow jerky.
Boring. So anyway, fat cow jerky, it's the second best thing you can put in your mouth in Delaware County. It's their birthday today. 1 year, apparently. I thought they were around much longer because I thought they jumped on Delco-A before that shit last year, right?
No, they
They
jumped
were-
on right
they
in
were
May.
around
Yeah,
I remember when they first started, they were like just starting. The guy wrote us like
Yeah.
a huge donation right on the spot.
He was clutch, didn't he? Yeah,
he sold tickets, raffled up a big
Yeah.
basket full of fat cow merchandise, jerky, and all that. Which he will be back as a vendor again this
Nice.
year.
Yeah, because
Yeah, Ron's a good dude.
what was the other flavor you were having?
I was like
The pickle's
breakfast-
good. Pickle's my
breakfast maple
second
bacon or
favorite.
something like that.
Yo, because this
Oh, the
shit's
maple
knocking,
breakfast.
man.
Maple breakfast is good. You can actually
Maple
really put that on
breakfast
breakfast
banging.
sandwiches.
Yo, I got the mango habanero.
Oh, that shit's good.
I want my glass
Sweet
of
and spicy.
That the maple breakfast.
The Reaper sent me to the fucking sink before to get some water. I'll tell you that. There's
I mean,
certain bites that'll get you.
I'm gonna
It's
feel
good.
this later, but this is some good
Hell
shit.
yeah.
right now.
No, it's
May
good.
31st is the launch of the website for Fat Cow.
Okay, the website launch.
Yo,
There
get
you
your
go.
beef
Still the
on.
birthday.
This is some good
Yeah.
shit.
And then there's Protree service, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
they
dominate the trees.
completely
They dominate trees.
You want your tree dominated?
They go-
You want your tree
They
dominated?
go in there, they talk down to it, belittle that tree.
They assert their dominance.
They spit on it, call it scum, get inside it, feel it from the inside, and bring it down a peg at their will.
Take pictures with the
Root
trees for
and
life.
stem.
I personally hired them, and they did great work. They were in and out, cleaning everything up. It was awesome. Great sale,
Same,
too,
see?
yeah.
They created a concept called the stump hump, where it's a stump and they hump it the fuck out of your yard. It's spectacular.
I'd pay for that. That right there is worth it. I want to go find a stump, plant it in my yard, and pay for a stump.
Then let's not forget about one of the greatest people to work with in this county, Wolf Superior Sandwiches, Aston, PA, Pennell Road. An address on Pennell Road, I forget. And they also do the tacos at Dolans. Is it every night? Is it every night?
Yeah, it's from 4 to 9. Yeah, I think every night.
Every night.
C. That would be C.
C.
The
C, senor.
Lobos.
Los Taqueria.
Yeah, Wolf's is absolutely great. They were so generous. He literally called me up the day we were doing this, the way we were doing the stuff. He's like, "What can I do for that?" And I was like, "Dude, whatever the hell you want, man. We'll always work for you." He said, "Hey, give me the maximum and fucking donate."
Yeah,
You know what he could have did? I could have a sandwich. You guys all have sandwiches made after you. Dan, can I get a sandwich?
Apparently,
made
that
after
might
me?
make the main menu one day.
One day.
Yeah. I heard the Big Al and the Holbrook might be on the main menu
Is
one
that
day.
right?
We're going up to the big leagues now.
Holy shit.
Yep. I think they sold more Big Al's, didn't they?
All right.
Oh, dude, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just putting it
Mine
out
was
there.
more specific because it's better.
No, it's like sloppy and
I mean,
thrown
no,
together.
You're just like you're generic. So like, it's
That's not generic.
Back
I-
out.
you
I had
know,
Captain Crunch chicken on that sandwich. How's that
basic.
generic?
I don't know. All I hear is like basic bitch, basic bitch, basic bitch.
There you go, Hollywood. Fat Cow's got something spicy
Oh,
for
there you go. I
your
got the
ass.
spicy original.
Spicy original was the best one I ever had.
I have to say that is one of the best. But I can't go away from the maple breakfast.
I don't know what
Schmidt's
I don't know what you're
biased.
talking about, PJ.
he's talking about. Tuesdays and Sundays.
Oh, Tuesday through Sunday.
Tuesday
Okay, so
through
they don't have it
Sunday.
on Monday.
For
the tacos.
Oh. So not Mondays.
Yeah, so
You
not-
get
we
well,
could've
not
went tonight.
Mondays.
We could've went
Mondays you
tonight.
get a different kind of taco at Dolans.
Ah,
Jesus Christ.
right.
I don't know.
He goes to Wawa and buys tacos for you.
Yeah, fucking right. The taquitos are
Actually, I'm gonna make a weird thing. I'm gonna say this because usually we don't pump up Wawa's food, but I did have their tacos one night in a pinch, and they weren't bad.
like weren't bad or like
That's
I don't
about the
know.
nicest thing you can say about Wawa.
No, they were like pretty. Like if you brought them to me and I didn't know they weren't Wawa, I'd be like, okay, these are decent tacos.
How hungry were you?
3 tacos in a shell with meat and cheese.
in a
and-
shell or like a hard
soft,
shell or
the soft shell.
Tortilla.
Yeah, tortilla.
And how hungry were you?
Well, I mean, basically hungry. Just needed something to eat, and that was what they had on the menu that I would want to eat. I have not had a hoagie or anything on a long roll from there in forever. Put it that way.
I had the first time I had one on a long roll was the other night, and dude, it was literally just like
Second one was the night before. He's like, stop pointing out the truths.
It was literally they took like it was a misshapen parallelogram through the ingredients in there. I don't even recall what they were, and then decided to just like chop like the top off, like they were circumcising, and it was basically one long.
Do they like throw the sandwich out? You go mazel tov.
Yeah. And I woke up very dehydrated.
It was Wawa's fault. He probably couldn't even see straight. That's why the sandwich looked all skewed.
No, it was
But like he's too drunk to know.
Well, they weren't wrong, but I will still always defend their baby melts.
You know what? I will defend their breakfast burritos. That's what I am.
Oh yeah,
They are pretty. They are actually one of the most solid things I can get.
I'll defend McDonald's breakfast burritos. Some cows.
They're not bad. No,
they're great.
Actually, McDonald's breakfast is like their other food. It's good going down, but not coming out.
What did we have last year? That they were doing burgers and dogs outside, right? In the lot last year.
Oh well, and they had, and we're gonna have it back this year. It's gonna be Cooks and Hooks, is it called? Cooks and Hooks are gonna have their pulled pork, I think, sandwiches again.
Okay, pulled pork.
Yeah, it was really.
That was what I was eating when I realized I lost a tooth the one year.
They just start pulling more out. I just didn't stop.
Is that when you got the mic knocked into your face?
Yeah, I took a microphone right in the mouth during the sock set, and I went up there and said, "Let me get a sandwich." I'm just like shooting him.
Like Father Stevenson.
Yeah, you chipped the tooth and Josh Zane.
He kept playing. It's just like that's all that Bonner.
He lost the teeth.
That's all that
Bonner
training. Just took a mic to the mouth and kept going.
Right through the video, it's like pitch black. Like that's why we were just like, we need some light. Pitch black up there. Spit was up there.
Yeah,
we were playing pitch black, so you couldn't see the amount of blood that was in the face, especially with the beard.
That was during.
I'm not having a heart attack once.
That was under the tent that year, right?
No, that was for
was that big tent, wasn't it?
No, it was when we're out.
Yeah, the small tent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was like pitch.
What did you guys like better? Did you like that big tent, or did you like the smaller one facing the street?
I did like that, but I know how much it costs and how much it takes out of the overhead, so let's not do it.
No, it's not even just that. Like, I think the outside is more because you can have more people. And I was just so worried somebody's going to like, and when I say somebody, I mean Delco Jesus was going to jump into the middle poles and that thing was going to come crashing down.
During the start, there was actually like pauses because like it got rowdy around the poles, and I actually started getting because there was like heaters and shit doing like this flames and we all died.
And we're going to die. Yeah.
Don't want that.
Yeah. I like it outside.
Schmidt, how many? They said how many Delco days did you play?
6.
You played 6.
Well, this will be my 6th.
Were you at the first one?
No,
you didn't.
I didn't know
Okay.
about it. Yeah. And then I don't know how we got in touch for the second one. But
We shut that place down. Like literally, we shut that place down. Yeah, they stole from charity.
Yeah, they were assholes. Like I mean,
I'll tell the story. They're gone anyway. They're
Tell the
gone.
story out.
I feel like you gotta have a camera. I feel like you need a camera on you.
I don't have to, but yeah. We were in a bar. We were at a bar in Upper Darby. What was it called? Eagles Nest.
The Eagles Den.
Eagles Den. Eagles Den. And after the show, we were getting people. Like, in first part, everybody rocked the shit out of the place to the point that bottles were apparently shaking off.
No shocker.
Yeah, like off the bottom shelves.
God forbid a concert breaks out of the concert out.
Yeah, right. So I had people coming up to me saying like, "Al, I bought a drink, and then somebody right behind me bought the same exact drink, and they charged them different, like upcharge them 50 cents to $1 or whatever." So they were just like the bartenders were literally just making up prices. Like, so if you and I went up for a Yingling and they charge you $4, and then they're charging me $5, and like they're pocketing everything, and like I'm like, we literally went to this place. So we're gonna pack this place more than it ever has been or ever will be. By the way,
where is this? Mixers?
It's not. It's called Mixers. It was called. It was in Upper Darby. I don't know. Is it even a bar still? Like, is there anything there now?
Down. Apparently, they sold it trying to buy Rick's, the underage bar, and that fell through. Now they have nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, karma's
there you go.
Karma's a bitch, but yeah. So we called them out on it. And they act like nothing happened, and we after Delco Day, we literally cut ties with them and threw them under the bus at the same time. So you're like, listen, man, when we deal with the bar, like that's why I deal with Joe McGee at Marty McGee's been great. He gets it. Like he understands that this is a good business night for me. It's getting not does it just like bring in a lot of people, but it brings a lot of people who may not normally go there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're not from the area or something
Right.
like that. They're not going to be stopping by Marty McGee's anytime soon. One of the funny stories from last year we had was I was working the door, or maybe it was the year before. We were working the door, and this big bus comes pulling up off to the side like a tour bus almost. The thing was huge. I'm like, what's going on? And it was definitely like one of those ones you rent when you go on like a bachelor party or something. Yeah. Well, it was apparently somebody from Jersey's 21st birthday, and they were doing their idea from Jersey for a 21st birthday was to do a Delco/Philly bar tour, whatever you want to call it. So here's about 30 people coming off this bus, coming into like me. I'm like checking them in and checking their IDs and like taking their money. Like, oh, well, we just found this place on, I don't know, whatever website you would look. Yelp, maybe. I don't even know what was that. Yeah, and they're like, we heard it was fun. They're like, we're here to get the Delco experience. I'm like, well, you're in for a surprise.
Yeah, well, fun fact.
So at first they're like, I don't know if we want to. I'm like, listen, it's $6.10. It goes to charity. And they're like, okay. So they all paid in. Literally 15 to 20 minutes later, the guy came down like somehow more increasingly drunk. Like it was ridiculous. Like, how did you get that drunk in 15 minutes is beyond me.
Well, Al, let me tell you.
Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you. And he's like, this is the greatest night of my life.
How do you get that drunk in 15 minutes? Do you have 7 minutes?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But yeah, no, back they have. I guarantee they've returned to Marty McGee's looking for the same party a few times. So if you are, do
Definitely a lot of
yeah. Now the place from the outside doesn't look gigantic. Like you just look at it, you're like, okay, I know, especially using that parking lot, and then now with the deck and everything else, it's just.
Oh my god! If you ever saw, I mean, were you ever in NASA's place or you two?
No, I was
prior.
Like, as they were like remodeling downstairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I never.
If I was, I don't remember.
Joe does a great job with all
that
this
wasn't
place.
my underage part.
It was like night and day. It was like night and day from what he's done to that part. But
yeah, I love being in there and like people in there for the first time. Somebody pops in and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm just upstairs shooting pool," and these strangers are like, "There's more to this place."
Yeah. And the outside, outside stage,
that's
banging.
Dude, that crate. That was. I remember when we first showed that to us on, I guess, Delco Day 3. He just like, oh, see what I did here is I took a shipping. Yeah, he's like, well, not even just that. He's like, I took a shipping container. I cut it open like it's nothing. Like, I cut up in a shipping container all the time.
Well, where did he
threw some
getting the shipping container?
Yeah, like
let's
just getting
start
the
with
shipping container. Then I cut the fucker open, and then by the way, I threw some hydraulics on it so I can open and close it. And like Jeff said, oh, we threw some lights in the smoke machine.
It's got 7G internet access for no reason.
Like this cabinet with like buttons, like he's MacGyver.
Yeah,
smoke lights.
He's Delco's Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's sitting there.
MacGyver.
He's like it's nothing. Like everybody cuts open a shipping container and turns it into a stage.
What's he doing? An episode of DIY, and next week we're just gonna go ahead and
He's
take
the
it
kind
over.
of guy that can like wake up in the morning and go like, like, would be cool if I did this. He actually does it. Like he's one of those guys. Yeah. He's actually going to do it. Like you want to be really cool if I turn a shipping container into a live stage.
He's an engineer at heart.
Well, if you're listening, Joe, make us a potato gun shooter so we could shoot t-shirts off the roof of your establishment.
We threw marshmallows off the roof one year.
Right.
Yeah, how could I forget?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's
Terrified Heights. That was terrifying getting up there, especially because those stairs were not.
Marshmallow Man. He was catching them at midnight, breaking. That was June 9th.
Yeah, multiple 300-pound men should not be standing on that fucking roof.
Are we going for any other Guinness Book of World Records at this Delco Day?
The most Delco event ever.
Holbrook's surviving another year. Yeah.
We're in overtime now.
Are you going to be certifying non-Delconians?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Well, so and that was a big thing. I've had people ask me like, I've been they're pleading their case to us. They're like, well, I've lived here for like 10 years now. I might be from Delaware, but I lived in Aston for I'm like, all right, man, sure. We're like, okay,
we'll give you a certificate.
We're like, yeah, sure, I'll print that certificate out.
Last year we swore on people from like Jersey, West.
Wasn't there a girl from or a guy from like
Italy,
yeah,
fucking Turkey,
yeah,
Georgia,
yeah.
The country or
the country has to go to that.
I think I don't know. I'll bet the flag's gonna do that.
Yeah. No, it was a good time, and hopefully we become the 5th year in a row it's an official holiday. We're just gonna make sure that
can
happens.
we put that out there? What's going on with that?
Well, we'll put it out now too for anybody listening. So anybody in politics from the Senate.
Well, we're constituents. Right?
Yeah. But we need to make this the 5th official holiday because then Delco Day is officially a Delco holiday on the calendar every year from here on out.
That'd be fantastic.
In PA. We get this.
Where's the
is
petition? I'll sign now.
Yeah. Well, no, it's done. Like all apparently all they have to do is they bring it up like any other like thing is like HR or whatever number, and they have to vote on it.
From last year, it's escaping me. Who was it last year?
O'Hara.
Right. Is that
O'Hara?
the same?
She's great. Yeah, I'll reach out to her.
Same.
She's great.
Got to be the same person.
I mean, the first year
it?
we did it, we literally said it maybe June 5th, and they got it done by June 10th. So
does it have to be the same person presenting it?
No, it just has to go through
multiple people have done it.
Can't we just
Now.
go up and can't we just go up and do it?
Well, they have to put.
I would like to fucking go to Harrisburg.
Well, that was
and
the
do
whole
it.
point. We were trying to get up to like for them to do it like sometime within a couple weeks. Now we're kind of cutting down to it.
I'll fucking not go to work.
We were.
I've proven it before, and I'll do it again.
Yeah, we were gonna go up and like, maybe even do a speech or something like just like why it's happening, but I don't know what's happening now. The guy was all gung ho in January. Now, like, where you at, bud? Kind of been
scared politicians. It's an election year.
Yeah.
I'll fucking do it. I'll write.
If
it's
I thought it needed to be a politician that presented. If it can be anybody,
I don't know how that works. Like, because could you go and ask to? Put
I don't
a
know,
law
Al.
on?
I pay 19% of my fucking paycheck towards taxes to fund these motherfuckers. I think we should be allowed to have 5
I
minutes
am
on the
not-
goddamn Senate.
I am not disagreeing. If we can do it, show me where I'll fill out the form.
Yeah.
You know?
I yield my time to the dirtbags from Delco.
Yeah.
Can Holbrook present it, please?
Oh God.
Well, listen. If, now,
Like the band.
Great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
if this
Why
was
is he taking his clothes
if
off?
this is gonna happen, aren't you gonna need a bigger venue?
Nah,
Because you're gonna be more involved Delco to just.
We just kind of like just pour people on top of people.
We'll
It's
just
fine.
bus them in from like.
We don't follow what they call the rules.
We don't wipe properly.
We'll be fine. Yeah, we'll get away with it. Whatever.
I've been to a Harrisburg.
You're gonna fire us for doing a charity? You're
Oh
gonna
no!
I'll be the first guy in jail.
You know what?
for
Delco
not
Day might have to
stealing
do
from a
Delco
charity.
Week.
My
Yeah.
favorite thing in the 4 years that it's been on the books, and no one's objected to it. It passes like 164 to 0 or whatever.
Yeah,
How dare they?
I'm just
not-
waiting for someone to step up.
yeah. I would actually want to shake that person's hand.
Someone
Like,
from Bucks
actually,
County.
Yeah.
Polk County says like nay, be like, oh, you're
I've been
dead.
to Delco Day. I would. I've been to Delco. I say nay to this, sir. Nay.
Everybody goes up and goes to the bathroom. while
Yeah.
they're presenting it. It's like, oh wait, there's something
We
going
got
on.
a whole
right
lot
now.
of proxy votes coming in here for nay.
I don't know. That's all I got, man. I don't
All right.
know. I hope
That's
you
a
raised.
lot,
I hope you
man.
raised the 30 grand. We
That
tried
was-
to raise tonight.
Those stories were
Wait, we have
really
grown from 1,000 to 10 to 30. You're just gonna
lot.
keep throwing numbers out there, huh?
Well,
Do you like want to fail? Like you're never gonna hit the number?
Wasn't that actually the natural progression where we like raised 1,200? We're like,
No,
we're so
no.
cool,
I'm just
and then it
saying,
was
like, I'm saying
it's-
tonight, just
yeah.
tonight, not in general.
30 grand. Oh, 10, yeah.
Yeah, tonight you went from like 5 grand to 10 grand to 30 grand.
Delco
He
Day's
just wants to set himself on fire.
But
People. He's
Delco
not
Day's
gonna
good.
do
We're at least going to burn them with a cigarette.
Yeah.
All right.
I got burnt by a torch the other night by John, so that was a good time.
What
So,
happened?
Tiki
you
torch.
can take a cigarette.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
it was like a chef's torch. We were in my friend's kitchen at a.
We're having a flambe just by chance.
I don't know what he was using it for, but John turns to me and goes, "Oh, cool, a torch." And then everyone was wondering why the kitchen smelled like fire
And burnt hair.
Burnt hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
Thank God,
Yum.
thank God he didn't burn down that $40,000 beard. That's for sure. That's what I want to make sure.
Look, when you grow up in an alcoholic family, you can learn to take the cigarettes at a young age. I'll be
Well,
fine.
With all the alcohol pumping through your veins, you'd probably burn up real fast. Like
Yeah.
it'd be like a pile of dry leaves.
Dude, I'm napalmed. I'm embalmed at this point.
Schmidt, I don't know how much time you put in on your beard, but there's not a hair out of place. Not from what I see. That thing's
I
pretty
think I got
perfect.
it trimmed up last Wednesday.
Pretty
Go over
perfect.
to Sleight of Hand.
Pretty
Jackie
perfect
took care
beard.
of it.
Yeah, I was coming over, so I got to let the adults.
That's all I got, man. I mean,
You
know,
guys,
we tried.
Al,
4
can you
hours.
show your commercial one more time?
Oh my God, it's the
what I was going
best. The new Nick Cage movie is like one of the best bromances ever, but the single best bromance is me and Al in this fucking Headstrong.
I love when you guys tap the pint glass.
Oh,
it's like
it's so-
chink.
No, I love the high five after the pool shot.
I like your face at the end when they had the logo over it, and then
Yeah,
you pull
when
it
they hide
away.
me.
You look like you just wrote a naughty book or something like that.
Wrote a naughty book.
You got to find the
Yeah, like a
the commercial
Yeah.
from like 2 years ago where we did like
One of the
where you
best.
marched through Marty's.
Oh, yeah.
was probably my favorite.
Car bomb, bro, Chacho. We should just re-air that.
That was
We should just re-air that.
I can pull that up.
Back when I was
You want to play it real quick?
back when I was
Yeah. Oh,
my
oh, oh.
full weight.
Just talk for 30 more seconds.
It's like the PA lottery commercial. Like, happy Merry Christmas, Rita. What a tremendous gift. Can we just re-air it and just have 6 over the 4 or 7 over the
We
4?
just cross out the 6.
Yeah,
and put
and
a
just
7.
re-air it. Like, can we fucking do that?
I'm just gonna play it so everybody can see what you're talking about at least. Just give me a second. Just keep talking.
Rita. What a tremendous gift.
Oh yeah, I think they're all dead in that.
I know, Rita's such a chode.
Oh my god.
What?
Just call her like an old lady from a lottery commercial. It showed.
No, an old lady from the '90s. She's long dead, Al.
Okay.
I think he's even older than that, brother.
Rita Gone.
Was that last year's or the year before?
What?
Was that Delco-A 4?
4.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go into that one.
I remember
I'm just trying to find the main video.
Ian threw a beer in your
Everyone threw a beer in my face. I was a little moist by the end of it.
Here we go.
Carrie, Ian, and Josh Zaner's hooked up at the time. All just abused me. And there's car bombs, T-bombs, repeat car bombs.
Great cinematography.
It's just, I gotta pull it up. Yeah, I was gonna throw it on here. So let's see. Hold on one second, because that air is awesome. Hold on, talk. Please don't. I think, dude, I used to, when I coached football for little kids, I would stop in the middle, like, stop doing that. Little assholes, shut up. I'm like yelling at their parents, tell your kids not to do this.
Your kids are quoting porn.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's called for what it is, but this video is taking for a second to download.
Why don't you play the
All right, I'll play the other one real quick. Hold on one second.
It would buy you 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you really need another Civic?
I'm telling you, they're underrated.
Hey, how's it going?
It's my girlfriend, Hulk Brogan. Beat it, nerd.
Yeah, get out of here, creep.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. What are you doing on June 1st? If you don't got plans, let me tell you what's going on at Marty McGee's in Prospect Park. There's this thing called Delco Day, and it's the 4th installment this year. It's actually a state-recognized holiday. It's from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m., 12 hours of nonstop partying, all to celebrate Delaware County, Delco, and everything about it. It's all for the benefit of Headstrong. Why don't I take you in and show you around for a minute? The Headstrong Foundation is a great local charity based out of Delaware County. It really helps out a lot of people.
Yo, did you see the guy in the Fords jersey with the Honda Civic? I just made out with him in the bathroom.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Anyway, Headstrong is a great foundation. They have one house in Swarthmore and one in Holmes. And what they do is they provide free housing for cancer patients and their families that come to this beautiful tri-state area where we're spoiled to live in. It has great cancer treatment centers. What are these?
T-Bomb?
Avi. Delightful. One thing Delco's great at is helping itself out. This year we got 17 bands, all sorts of vendors, local food places, local celebrities swinging by. Hey, what's up, Bucky Barnaby's? Glad you're still open. Still $20? Right there. It's from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. If you're busy at night, swing by during the day. If you're busy during the day, come spend the night with us. It's going to be great. It's going to be nonstop fun. Yo, what's up, man? Yo, 35.
Yo, you take cards, though?
Just Venmo me, man.
Venmo? All
Just
right,
Venmo me. Delco isn't just borders. It's not just land. Delco's a mindset. Anyone from here knows that, and we want the rest of the state to know that. What better way to prove that than a 12-hour party to make this whole place better?
Car bomb for a chacho.
Get this out of here.
Yeah.
What does he think this is Dolans? What the
Dude, what did I do?
You got freaking cool it, man. You're on.
He slammed his ass.
Get out of
Delco
here.
makes you first.
Get him out of here.
So anyway, it's 1110 Lincoln Ave in Prospect Park, Pennsylvania. It's all day, all night, June 1st into the 2nd. You know, help us help Delco, help you help Delco, help Delco help Delco.
Bro, I'm telling you, 99 Honda Civic, Monster Green, Turbo, Flux Capacitor is sick, bro.
610, yeah! Take off work, cancel that christening. You ain't going to mass the next day. What are you, vaping? What a loser. Yo, let me get some more. Oh, is this your boyfriend? Trying to downgrade? June 1st, be at Marty McGee's. It's Delco Day 4.
Hi, I'm Chris Hollywood Holbrook.
And I'm Al Zafiri.
And we are co-founders of Delco Live.
Delco Day 7 will be right here, Marty McGee's, June 11th.
It's an all-day and night party from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. with all sorts of local acts, local musicians, local celebrities. We got 3 stages. It's going to be wild.
Over the last 3 Delco Days, we raised $40,000 for the Headstrong Foundation.
We hope that this is the best Delco Day ever. Headstrong Foundation is going all out for it. Marty McGee's is going all out for it. We're going all out for it. And we want Delco to go all out for it.
And remember, Delco Day, June 11th, right here, Marty McGee's. Go to delcolive.com or delcoday.com for all the details.